Hello and welcome everyone. This is Professor Siddharth Surana. I hope you guys are doing good और मैं तो हमेशा मस्त ही रहता हूँ. Welcome to episode number 8 of MCQs season 3 applicable for May and November 22 exams. First of all, I thank you for your patience and cooperation over the last two episodes. It was very long, huge number of questions, but with which I have reached a position that I can now peacefully complete my portion in. I wanted single digit episodes. I did not want it to go to 10 episodes. So now that this is the 8th episode and 8 and 9 in 2 episodes I will finish. So today's lecture is not going to be very long. Capital gains and other sources we will be doing. But then in capital gain also at the end the case scenarios, there are some really difficult questions that are going to come. So be patient. Let's start with the easy part first. Rebate under 87A is not available against 111A, 112, 112A or all. Chapter 6 deduction is not available against special rate, but for rebate only against this income it has been stated that not available. State whether true or false securities held as stock in trade by FII is treated as capital asset. It has been specifically mentioned FII is investing in securities will not be treated as stock in trade, it will be treated as capital asset compulsory. Land and building will be long-term asset if it is held for more than land and building. 24 months, very easy. For treating unlisted zero coupon bond as long-term capital asset, it should be held. Zero coupon bond doesn't matter, 12 months. Units of business trust will be long-term capital asset if it is held for more than. Units of UTI equity-oriented fund, it is 12 months. All other units, listed, unlisted doesn't matter. 36. Unlisted preference shares will be treated as long-term capital asset. Shares if listed 12 but if unlisted 24, doesn't matter equity or preference. Vedant Bank transferred shares and received units of business trust in exchange of shares. What will be the holding period of business trust unit? See, when it is received in exchange you have to apply the amalgamation philosophy. The shares ka cost only becomes business trust units ka cost and the holding period will also be added. So from when units allotted? No. Shareholding period as well as unit holding period, the total period will be taken. Which of the following does not constitute transfer? Extinguishment of any right, it is transfer. Redemption of zero coupon bond, it is transfer. Compulsory acquisition, it is. But sale of stock in trade cannot come here because it comes in PGBP. Rate of tax including surcharge and penalty under income declaration scheme. This is an old provision. To general knowledge ke liye I am telling you, there was a scheme where you declare 45% you pay and we will not ask you any question. Alkesh Raheja converted his capital asset into stock in trade on 10th March 21. So 2021, I hope you understand. March 21 is 2021, which was acquired by him on 7/7/5 and subsequently he sells stock in this year 21/22. So he acquired in 5/6, converted in 2021. What will be amount that will, what will the period considered for indexation? Start will be year, end will be year. Even if taxation is postponed, indexation will get over. So 5/6 to 2021. On 26th July 2017, due to severe floods, assets of Chandrakant were destroyed, which had book value of 5 lakh. On 26th July 17, acha, that day the book value was 5. On 5th August 21, he received 6 lakh from insurance company for the assets which were acquired by him on 9/5/15. So acquired on 9/5/15, what will be the period of holding? Acquired on 9/5/15 and destroyed on 26 July 17. Even if the taxation may come later, the asset is destroyed and we have of course a capital gain of 1 lakh because selling price is more than the value. So 9/5/15 se start karke, 9/5/15 se start karke, on the date the asset got destroyed. After this you are not holding the asset anymore. So 26 July 17. Rishi Chopra purchased deposit certificates from Kapadia Limited on 5/2/16. 5/2/16. On 7/9/19, they were converted into debentures. These debentures were sold on 15/12/21. So start will be year, conversion is not a taxable transfer, and will be year. What will be period of holding? 5/2/16 to 15/12/21. 5/2/16 to 15/12/21. Full value of consideration for partner when he transfers capital asset. Partner to firm will always be the value recorded in the books of accounts. Partner to firm, book value in the sale consideration for firm when it transfers capital asset at the time of dissolution. Dissolution bola matlab 9B is applicable. 45 is not applicable, and 9B is applicable, matlab we have to take the fair market value. If compensation is received due to interim order, when will it be taxable? When the compensation is received due to interim order, it is not taxable. It will be taxable in the year in which the final order is passed. For securities which are sold by depository but the income is chargeable into tax in the hands of beneficial owner, the cost of acquisition and holding period shall be determined. On what basis? If securities are held, like for example your securities, they are in demat account, you are selling them, so cost and holding period. How will you be deciding cost and holding period? It has to be done on the FIFO method. 45(5)(a) joint development agreement is applicable for whom? It's a defect, but unfortunately as of now joint development agreement applies only to individual HUF. One day when I become the finance minister of the country, very soon, it is a matter of time, I will make it applicable to all assessees. Cost of acquisition in case of enhanced compensation, full cost is already allowed in original compensation, so see. GSC in case of asset received in liquidation, so you receive the asset, that is your value, but then some portion goes in deemed dividend, fair market value minus the deemed dividend. In case of buyback of listed shares by company on 1st July 21, the tax will be payable. Now whether it is listed or unlisted, buyback ka tax company will pay, shareholder ke liye it will be exempt. What will be the gross sale consideration among the following in case of land transferred under agreement to develop, matlab joint development? The stamp duty value of new property and the amount in money. Stamp duty value of new property plus the amount in money. Capital gain arising from transfer of land or building under specified agreement for development of the project to developer will be taxable in the year when you transfer. Then joint development agreement, it is taxable in which year? In the year of receiving completion certificate. Capital asset distributed by company to shareholder on liquidation. So capital gain kisko? Both? No. Company ke liye it is not a taxable transfer. Only shareholder is getting shares against asset. So it will be taxable only for the shareholder. Painting which is of national importance is transferred to National Art Gallery. Whether it is a transfer, it has been exclusively excluded from the, specifically excluded from the definition of transfer. Which of the following is not a transfer? Not a transfer. Conversion of capital asset into stock in trade, it is a transfer. Compulsory acquisition, it is a transfer. Transfer of capital asset by holding company to a wholly owned subsidiary, specifically excluded. So this is our answer. And of course, receipt of insurance claim is also a transfer. Buyback of unlisted shares, what is going to be the tax payable? In case there is buyback, 20% compulsory surcharge, compulsory cess. Sachin Kherdikar acquired gold bonds under gold monetization scheme for 65 on 7/4/18. Bonds were redeemed on 7th August 18 by Mr. Srinivas for 95,700. What is the income? Gold monetization scheme के अंदर जो bond होता है, it has been excluded from the definition of capital asset. Capital asset transferred by HUF to member by HUF due to partial partition. What will be the GSC? Whenever HUF is transferring, it is not a taxable transfer. Transfer of capital or intangible asset by firm on succession into company is not transfer subject to certain conditions. Which among the following is incorrect condition? Means firm converted into company, not a taxable transfer. There are some conditions. Which is not, which of the following is not a condition? At least 50% of partners should become shareholder of the company. No. This is only wrong. All partners have to become in the same profit sharing ratio. So partners should not receive any other consideration. This is a condition, so wrong. They are asking incorrect. All assets should be transferred. This is a correct condition, so wrong answer. Should hold minimum 50% voting power, yes. All partners have to become, so at least 50% is going to be wrong. They are asking for incorrect. Okay. What among the following will not be deducted from gross sale consideration? STT, CTT is allowed only in business, not in capital gain. Forfeited advance money of 10,000 received from B in respect of property sale deal, where B failed to pay the balance within the stipulated time on 10/4/21. So what will be the amount that you will reduce from COA? You will not reduce anything. If the forfeiture happens from 14/15 onwards, it will be taxable under IFOS, not reduce anything. Transfer of capital asset by private company to LLP is not regarded as transfer subject to certain conditions. Private company to LLP is not transfer subject to certain conditions. Which of the following is, this time they are asking you correct condition. Which of the following is a correct condition? Erstwhile shareholders of the company entitled to receive 75%? No. They have to become, private companies converting into LLP, they have to become partners in the same ratio. They are asking this time correct condition. Total turnover or receipts in the business of company must not exceed 60 lakh in any of the 3 preceding years. This is one of the conditions, that last 3 years, when anyone ka bhi turnover should not be exceeding 50. This only is the answer. No amount is paid to partner out of accumulated profit. No. Total book value of assets. No. 32B. Where a firm transfers its assets to successor company and conditions are not fulfilled, who will pay tax? There is a condition that 8 years ka lock in and all. Then who will pay tax? It will be paid by the successor company in the year of contravention of the condition. Mr. Gangaram, a senior citizen, mortgages residential house with bank under a notified reverse mortgage scheme and receives 6,000 as monthly payment. What will be gross sale consideration? Let me explain what is a reverse mortgage. This is exempt income. So we know the exempt income hai, to answer will be 0. But what is reverse mortgage? Mortgage means today bank will give me loan. If I don't pay loan, then the bank can take my asset. Reverse mortgage is, I am a senior citizen. I have an asset, but I don't have money. I tell the bank, dear bank, till the time I am alive, give me monthly money. Give me monthly money. And after I die, whoever is the legal heir, they will pay your loan back. And if they don't pay, you can take my property. That means my property will remain with me. After my death, it will go to bank. And for this, the bank will give me some monthly maintenance money because I am senior citizen. Currently, I don't have money. So, bank will give monthly money and after death, the asset will go to the bank. So, this has been specifically exempt, the transaction of reverse mortgage. Foreign currency rate, which is to be converted, used for converting cost of acquisition, will be what? See, I'll tell you one small thing, which is relevant even in one of the big case study that you will be doing. When a non-resident is acquiring Indian company ka shares in foreign currency, forex asset. Abhi in NRI taxation ka sums, they directly give us everything in rupees. When they give us in rupees, we directly calculate the gain or loss as per the NRI provisions. But when the purchase happened in foreign currency, actually you should do this calculation. Gross sale consideration minus transfer expense. That gives us net sale consideration minus cost of acquisition, because on securities no indexation to non-resident, and that will give you capital gain. This full calculation should take place in foreign currency. So sale price has to be done in dollars, means whichever is the foreign currency. This in dollars, obviously this will be in dollars, matlab foreign currency. This in foreign currency, this will give you the capital gain in foreign currency. And then once this capital gain is calculated in foreign currency, last may you again convert into rupees. So when you are converting these amounts, you have to compute at the average of the telegraphic transfer buying and selling rate. When you go to a bank for dealing in forex, there is a buy rate, sell rate. There is always a difference. Buy rate will be different. So GSC, transfer expense, of course difference is NSC. So there is no conversion that you have to do for NSC. It's directly the difference. And the cost of acquisition. These will be converted from Indian currency to foreign currency at the average rate. Buying rate and selling rate ka average. Obviously, GSC on the date of transfer. Transfer expense is also on the date of transfer. Cost of acquisition on the date of acquisition. Means what you will do. Take the selling consideration in Indian currency, convert into foreign currency at the average buying and selling rate of transfer date. That will give you GSC. Then take transfer expense in Indian currency, convert into foreign currency at the average of buying and selling rate. This is also on the date of transfer. That will give you transfer expense. So you will get NSC. Then take cost of acquisition in Indian currency, convert into foreign currency again at the average rate, but on the date of acquisition. That will give you cost. Then you will get capital gain in forex, and now convert into rupees. This will be converted into buy rate. So GSC, transfer expense and cost of acquisition will be converted at the average rate. GSC, transfer expense, cost of acquisition will be converted from Indian currency to foreign currency at average rate. GSC and transfer expense on the rate of the transfer date and cost of acquisition on the acquisition date. These two will be transfer date, this will be acquisition date, but average rate. And final gain amount will be converted into Indian currency again at the buy rate. Obviously, gain happens on the date of transfer. So, buying rate on the date of transfer. I will repeat for every individual. GSC, Indian to foreign currency, average rate of transfer date. Transfer expense, Indian to foreign currency, average rate of transfer date. NSC is directly the difference. Cost of acquisition, Indian to foreign currency, average rate but on acquisition date. That will give you gain. Now again convert the gain into Indian currency at the buy rate of the date of transfer. When a non-resident acquires shares in foreign currency, this is the calculation. And if he acquires in Indian currency, then if you purchase in rupees, then you directly do sell minus cost. But that is not a forex asset. Mind you, that is not a forex asset. So directly do sell minus cost, and that's your answer. No indexation, of course. But it's not a forex asset. Remember this. Okay. So they are asking cost of acquisition. Cost will be converted at the average rate on the date of acquisition. Cost will be average rate on the date of acquisition. Indexation is not available to shares available, gold bonds available, debentures में indexation नहीं मिलता. What will be COA for short debentures issued as ESOP? ESOP के केस में fair market value of the shares on the date when it was allotted. Fair market value, face value टिक कर दिया गलती से. Fair market बोला answer right. Fair market value on the date in which it is allotted to the employees. Fair market value. Mishra LLP formed after transferring all assets of Anupam Private Limited. All assets were transferred on 19/9/16, which was acquired by Anupam in this date, and the asset was sold by Mishra on this date. Means Anupam acquired on this date 4/5. Mishra acquired on this date, irrelevant, not a taxable transfer. Then Mishra sold on this date. So 2021. Understand please, Feb 21 is 2021. What is the holding period? The holding period of the previous owner will be added, and thus we will be taking from 4/5 to 2021. Rate of tax for non-resident in case of long-term capital gain for unlisted shares. Do you get 20% without indexation? No. When you have the right to pay at 10, why will you pay 20? 10% without indexation? That's right. 10% with indexation. Securities pay no indexation, and 20 with no. So only B is our answer, and only B is our answer. So 39 का answer. 39 का answer A. Ms. Meera received shares of resulting company due to demerger. Other information. Cost of acquisition of shares of demerged company means original cost was 40,000. FMV on the date of demerger. Shares का FMV is irrelevant. The original cost is apportioned between demerged company and resulting company in the proportion of book value of assets. So book value of assets transferred is 5 lakh, and the net worth of the demerged company is 12 lakh. Book value of asset transferred is 5 lakh. Net, matlab can I say that 40,000 will be split in the ratio of 5/12 and 7/12? 5/12 will be the transfer, means 5/12 will be cost of acquisition in the resulting company. That is what is asked. And if they would have asked cost of shares in the demerged company, then we would have done 7/12 in the proportion of book value. So original cost 40,000 into 7/12 will be retained in the demerged company, and 5/12 is transferred. So 40,000 into 5/12. 40,000 original cost, 5 lakh by 12 lakh, 16,667. State whether true or false conversion of stock in trade into capital asset and subsequent capital asset is sold. Cost of capital asset will be the cost at which the inventory is acquired. The FMV of stock will be taken as selling price in PGBP. That FMV will become cost of acquisition under capital gain. Which of these is not a capital asset? Very easy. Rural agricultural land. Very easy. What will be the COA of sweat equity shares? The FMV on which it was allotted to the employees. Mr. Mithul, an employee of A Limited, received sweat equity shares under ESOP which was subsequently sold. What will be the cost of acquisition? Sweat equity के लिए it will always be the fair market value. On which date individual HUF should be owner for the purpose of 1037? The land pooling scheme of state of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. That date was announced as 2nd June 2014. 1037A provides exemption on transfer in case of land pooling scheme. That exemption is allowed only to individual HUF. Mr. Umesh, an individual, transferred land in Amravati under land pooling scheme on this date, which was acquired on 9/5/2004. He received possession of reconstituted plot on this date and transferred on this date. Is he an individual? And was he the owner on 2014? In that case, the capital gain of the assessee will be exempt. Indexation is not available for depreciable, slump sale and stock exchange cost long term. Yes, indexation is not available. All of them. Rate of tax for non-resident if he has long-term capital gain from sale of land in India. Non-resident does not get indexation on securities. Land है तो indexation भी मिलेगा, and land के ऊपर there is no 10% का option. It is always going to be only 20% with indexation. What will be the cost of acquisition of bonus shares acquired before 1401? FMV का option मिलता है. वैसे it is 0, but FMV on 1401 का option can be taken. COA in case of unit of equity or mutual fund on which STT is paid at the time of transfer. What will be the cost? Sale consideration or FMV on 31st January, whichever is lower, compare with actual cost, whichever is higher. So, cost and lower of FMV on 31st Jan and GSC means out of these two, whichever is lower, then compare this with the cost, whichever is higher. This is only our answer. This is only our answer. On 1/5/21, Mr. Y transferred self-generated goodwill of his profession for 50,000. What will be the capital gain? Self-generated goodwill अगर profession का है, it has been specifically exempt. For which among the following capital asset cost will be nil? Right share received, no, you pay for it. Shares received under demutualization scheme, no, your original cost will be taken. Trading or clearing rights, this comes free with your shares. If you have stock exchange membership, trading rights comes free. For the right, you don't have any extra cost. Mr. Kevin purchased rights of subscribing to shares from Khushbu at 15 per share for 10 shares. Kevin purchased the shares for 50, means paid to Khushbu 15, paid to company 50, total cost 65, and subsequently sold the share for 55. So 55 minus 65. What will be the capital gain? It's a case of loss of 10. Indexation benefit is available to which of the following assets? Sovereign gold bond, yes. Capital index bond and sovereign gold bond, yes. Treasury bond nahi, STT paid nahi, slump sale nahi, sovereign gold bond. Revaluation of assets should be ignored while calculating net worth of the undertaking in the case of slump sale. Yes, all kinds of revaluation will be ignored. Cost of improvement done before 1401 should be any improvement before 1401 fully ignored. The provisions under section 50 for computation of capital gain in case of depreciable asset can be invoked under the following circumstances. When one or more asset in the block is sold for more than value, yes, then capital gain will come because value becomes 0. Once all assets are transferred, there will be capital gain. All assets are transferred for more value, less than value. That means in all these cases, there is going to be capital gain. Ms. Gianna entered into agreement for sale of her property for 45 lakh and received cross check of 5 lakh. Stamp duty value on the date of agreement was 46. Irrelevant. It has to be account paid check, account paid draft, electronic mode. So stamp duty value not to be taken on the date of agreement, nahi, on the date of transfer. Date of transfer के लिए 4690. First of all, cross check है तो agreement date not allowed. 4690 मतलब this we have to take. And what is the rule? Actual sale consideration or this whichever is higher. So your mind may be telling you 4690, but do we know that if the difference is up to 10% of actual, what is 10% of actual? 4,50,000. Actual पे लगता है, actual पे. 50C में and IFOS में it is always 10. PGBP में 50C में it is always 10. IFOS and PGBP में subject to that special case of residential unit first time sale up to 2 crore, then we also have the facility of 20%. But here it will be 10 only. But the difference is less than 10, and the difference is less than 10. That means you can take your actual consideration. Meet Sampath, proprietor of Sampath and Company, transferred depreciable asset for 250, which was acquired on 20 December 2009. Date is irrelevant. Depreciable asset always short term, 60,000. WDV of the block to which it belonged to was 2 lakh. What will be the amount of capital gain? Selling price 250. Block ka WDV is going to be taken as cost. So selling price minus WDV 50,000 and always short term, never long term. Always short term, never long term. Exemption under 54D, that is capital gain on transfer by way of compulsory acquisition. ये किसको मिलता है exemption? This can be available to all assessees. For claiming 54D exemption with respect to industrial undertaking, asset transfer should be, it can be long term or short term. Mr. Arun Shekhar has agricultural land costing 5 lakh in Lonavala on 143 and is using it for agriculture purpose when government compulsorily acquired this land in 15 lakh and 15 lakh is given as compensation. What is capital gain? See, rural agricultural land is not a capital asset. Now they don't have information whether urban or rural. Urban is a capital asset, but compulsory acquisition is exempt. Means agricultural land ka compulsory acquisition is never going to be taxable. For exemption under 54B, once agricultural land is transferred, new land has to be purchased within 1 year before, 2 years after. 1 year before nahi, 2 years after is the only provision. ये भी नहीं, There is only one option, 2 years, and thus that is given in option C. If cost of new residential house is less than long-term capital gain, then long-term capital gain to the extent of dash is exempt. See, this is your gain, this is your investment. Investment or capital gain, whichever is lower. If investment is less, then your entire cost of new residential house will become your exemption. If asset is transferred within 3 years, then what will happen? The gain exempt earlier will now become taxable. 54 EC is available for only land and building. Once upon a time all were allowed, but now only land and building. For 54 EC, long-term specified bond should be purchased, which is redeemable after the bonds which are issued after 1418. They specify 5-year lock-in period. Capital gain under 54G should be utilized for which of the following purpose? Plant and machinery, building or land. It can be utilized for both purposes. Furniture is not allowed. All this is going to be allowed. If the amount of short-term capital gain on transfer of residential house is 46 lakh, then exemption under 54 can be taken by investing in how many houses? Gadeda, 54 is not available on short-term. In which of the following assets should eligible startup invest so that assessee can claim exemption under 54? Assessee will acquire ownership in startup, and startup has to acquire new plant and machinery. If equity share of company are acquired by individual HUF or plant and machinery acquired means I will acquire share, company will acquire plant and machinery, then amount of capital gain exempt earlier shall be deemed to be income if it is sold within how many years? 5 years ke andar if it is sold, that is the lock-in period. 54 GB, that is investment in shares by transfer of residential house, is applicable. This section is also applicable only to individual HUF. In 54 GB, company should invest in purchase of new plant and machinery within 1 year from. See, I will invest in the company before due date of return filing, and company has to invest in plant and machinery within a period of 1 year from when I subscribe to the shares. Mr. Wadia transferred the asset and deposited the amount in CGDAS as per scheme and claimed exemption. Within the stipulated time investment he died. What will be the amount of capital gain? For the legal head there will be no capital gain if the assessee dies. Long-term loss incurred due to 112A, concessional rate of 10% for transfer of listed equity shares. If there is any loss, can it be set off? Yes, it can be set off, it can be carried forward. Income is fully taxable. Only in tax calculation, first 1 lakh you don't apply tax. Income comes fully, and therefore it can be set off, but only against long-term capital gain. Otherwise, it can be carried forward for 8 years. Mr. Mohan transferred units of equity oriented mutual fund for 2,50,000 on 7th August 2021, which was acquired by him for 60,000 on 6/16. What will be the amount of capital gain taxable at? 10% for Mr. Mohan. Indexation not available, FMV is given. So selling price or FMV, whichever is lower. So FMV and FMV or cost, whichever is higher. So this. So 250 minus 1,30,000, 1,20,000 is going to be the capital gain taxable. Mr. Zubin, non-resident, has income from other sources 70,000. Short-term capital gain 30,000. So sale of equity oriented mutual fund. See, this below basic exemption, even if non-resident 250 मिलेगा. This will go in 111A. What is the amount tax? कोई पागल बच्चे को लगता है सर unexhausted basic exemption limit only for resident individual and resident HUF, not available to non-resident. So you will have to apply 15%, that will be 4,500, and of course add cess, that will give you 4,680. Concessional rate of 10% on transfer of long-term unlisted securities or shares is available. For listed, no, you get 10% without indexation for both resident and non-resident, but unlisted ka facility is given only to non-resident. Once 112A is exercised, which of the following is not available against LTCG? Chapter 6A deduction is not available. Transfer expense is available. Rebate is not available. Not available, they are asking. An unexhausted basic exemption limit in case of resident. 111A, 112, 112A. Resident can utilize. So, not available is only chapter 6A and 87A. Accordingly, A and C, which is given in option B. Mr. Vinay inherited land from his father, which was mortgaged by his father. Vinay paid outstanding money to the bank to release the mortgage. मतलब reverse mortgage में what happened? Legal heir told the bank, I return your money, give me the asset. That means I have paid additional cost to the, I got inheritance and plus I paid cost. So if I ever sell cost to the previous owner, but the amount that I paid to bank also for release of property, that will become my total cost. Under 50C, stamp duty value taken as GSC only if asset transferred is building, no, any immovable property. Asset transferred is land and building, and stamp duty value is more than actual consideration, full value of consideration, GSC. No, just being greater is not enough. Difference has to be more than 10%. So no. Asset transferred is land and building, and stamp duty value is more than 110%, means the difference is more than 10% of actual, and only land is also not counted. So of course C is the answer. Mr. Khanna, who is salaried employee, invest in equity shares. What is the benefit available in respect of STT paid to him, which is held for 14 months? 14 months मतलब long term है, and salaried employee मतलब it is not business, it is capital gains. 112A, rebate is not going to be allowed. STT paid is not going to be treated. That is only in PGBP. That is why they have given this. Capital gain is taxable at concessional rate of 10%. This is the only benefit that he can take. And 15 of course long term है, 14 months no long term, तो ये नहीं लगेगा. Mr. Rajan purchased 300 shares in Vaigai Limited on 12th January 2017 at cost. This is his cost. Fair market value is given, obviously. Anything purchased before 31st January, so cost or FMV, whichever is higher. So here we will take 2,500, but before that we will check if the FMV is compared with selling price, we will take whichever is lower, then we will. Mr. Vaigai sold all the shares of, no, Vaigai nahi hai, this is a mistake. Mr. Rajan sold all the shares of Vaigai Limited. Rajan acquired Vaigai and sold Vaigai. Okay, there is no Mr. Vaigai. Rajan sold all the shares of Vaigai on 15th July 21. So this is the selling price. Okay, so FMV is lower, so this will be taken as selling price, and here we will take out of the two whichever is higher, FMV or cost. So 2,500 will become the cost, 3,200 minus 2,500, 700 into number of shares, 300. Okay. Mr. Rajan's brother, Mr. Ravi, purchased 600 shares in Tapte Limited on 25th January 17 at a cost of 1,900. This is the cost. FMV is 2,400. So between cost and FMV, higher we are getting 2,400. Mr. Ravi sold all the shares, all 600 for 1,700. So first we cannot take cost or FMV. We will take FMV or selling price, whichever is lower. So 17, and then selling price or cost, whichever is higher. So 19. So selling price 17, cost price 19. Thus Ravi is having loss of 200 and 600 shares. What is the chargeable capital gain on sale of shares of Vaigai and Limited Tapti for Rajan and Ravi? I have of course solved this. We have two people, Rajan and Ravi. Sale consideration दोनों का easy है. He has sold it for 3,200 and he has sold it for 1,700. Correct? What will you take as cost? First we take FMV or sale consideration, whichever is lower. So here it will be 1,800, and here whichever is lower it will be 1,700. So 1,800 and 1,700. Now we compare with the actual cost. For actual cost we come here 2,500 and 1,900. So 25 and 19. Now between these two we have to choose higher. So if we choose higher between 1,800 and 2,500, then our answer comes to 2,500. And if we choose higher between these two, finally this will become my cost of acquisition. And this cost will be subtracted from this sale consideration. So 32 minus 25, 700, and 17 minus 19, 200 ka loss, which we solved orally also, multiply by number of shares. Rajan ka 210 ka gain and Ravi ka 120 ka loss. Gain of Rajan 210, right. Loss of Ravi 420, wrong. Gain of Rajan 420, wrong. Gain of Rajan 420, wrong. Gain of Rajan 210 and loss of Ravi 1,20,000. Gain of Rajan 2,10,000 and loss of Ravi 1,20,000. During the previous year 21-22, Akash has 80 lakh of short-term capital gain 111, 70 lakh of long-term capital gain 112, and business income of 90 lakh. Means 80 plus 70, 150, and 150 plus 90, 2 crore 40. 2 crore 40 means surcharge 25% after 2 crore. But is your income exceeding 2 crore only because of this? If you remove this capital gain part, 111A, 112A, 115AD for FII and dividend, then your income is below 2 crore. That means my income is exceeding 2 crore only because of capital gain. Then full income ka tax will have 15% surcharge. If this was exceeding 2 crore, then on this we would have applied 25 or 37. But yahan ka will always be highest 15%. It will never be more than 15. So 25% is leviable on income tax computed on surcharge at 25%. Wrong. Surcharge at 15% will be leviable on entire, because our income is exceeding only because of these three. They have given this also. For capital gain you apply 15, for business you apply 25. All that is wrong. We would have applied 25 here if this was more than 2 crore. What is the meaning of agricultural land as per Income Tax Act, assuming that crops are being cultivated on such land and the land is situated within that? Means if you open the main textbook, on the first page definition of agricultural land is given. If you open the definition, you will come to know that if the population is 10,000 or more, then within a period of within a range of 2 kilometers ka range we will take agricultural land. So if you ask the meaning, you can open the first page of the main textbook. During 21-22, Bharat has short-term capital gain of 75 lakh under 111 hai, 65 long-term capital gain under 112 hai, business income of 85. So 140 and 85, again it is coming to somewhere about 2.25 crore. Same question as the previous one. Business is only 85, this is not crossing 2 crore. 2 crore I am crossing only because of this. That means entire income ke upar we will calculate tax and full ke upar we will apply only 15% surcharge. Mr. Vishal and Mr. Guha sold their residential property in Pune for 3 crore and 4 crore respectively in Jan. The house property was purchased 24 months back, therefore long term. Index cost of acquisition for Vishal. So 3 minus 1, 2 is the gain, and for Guha is 4 minus 1.75, 2.25. So 2 crore and 2.25 is the long term capital gain, dono ka 25 months. Mr. Vishal purchased 2 residential flats, one in Delhi, one in Agra, for 70 lakh and 80 lakh respectively. Mitro, Vishal ka gain is up to 2 crore. 3 minus 1, 2. He can take benefit of both. हाँ, and is it purchased in April? April मतलब it is within the time limit. Jan में बेचा, April 2 years का time मिलता है. This is only 2-3 months. Both allowed, वो main है. Why? Because up to 2 crore once in a lifetime. On the same date, Guha also purchased 2 residential flats, one in Mumbai, other in Pune. Guha ka gain is 2.25. He will get only one, and obviously whichever is higher. मतलब Guha 2.25 में से he can take only 80. Both of them invested in 30 lakh in bonds of NHA in March within 6 months, and 30 lakh in ARECL in April. Both are within 6 months, but total 54 EC will be 30 plus 30 restricted to 50. Both are within 6 months, so both allowed but restricted to 50. What is the income taxable under capital gain for Vishal and Guha? Very easy. 3 crore is the sell price, 4 crore, 3 crore, sell crore. First line of the question, 3 crore, 4 crore. Index cost is already given, 1 crore, 1.75. So Vishal ka 2 crore ka gain and iska 2.25. This is why Vishal is getting benefit of both houses. Both houses matlab 80 and 70, total 1.5 crore allowed. But Guha will get benefit only of 1 because iska gain is more than 2. So of course we will take higher. Correct? And as far as 54 EC is concerned, both are within 6 months, but 30 plus 30 restricted to 50, and both have purchased. So finally iska 0 ho gaya, iska 95 lakh ho gaya, and accordingly 0 for Vishal and 95 lakh for Guha. 88 ka answer will be C. And now we have case study based questions. 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. Now the difficult questions have already started anyways from the past couple of questions also. Very difficult are some of them. Very much focused you will have to be. चलिए यार थोड़ा स्टाइल चेंज करते हैं. एक्चुअली केस स्टडी बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस का थोड़ा स्टाइल इज व्हाट. If you want to save your time and energy, read this first. So amount of capital gain for Mallika. So there will be a lady in the case study, Mallika capital gain. Amount of income chargeable to tax under PGBP. मतलब Mallika का capital gain and PGBP. There will be a lady Mallika. You have to calculate PGBP capital gain both. Amount of income chargeable to tax under capital gains and profits of gains of business or profession for AY 23-24. Means they are asking for this year and next year. Both. मतलब PGBP capital gain for current year and next year. Okay. Annual value of penthouse held as stock in trade. Is it going to be taxable? Annual value matlab house property. Even if it is stock in trade, will it be taxable? That we have to decide. Is Mr. Harish liable to deduct TDS on the rent paid? Matlab there will be someone called Harish who will be paying rent to Mallika. So we have to calculate PGBP, capital gain, house property, and TDS duty of Harish. So that we will keep in mind. TDS, PGBP. TDS, PGBP, rental income and capital gain. And PGBP and capital gain of 2 years. Keep this in mind. Malika purchased a land in Pune at a cost of 50 lakh in December 2008. So that was her cost of acquisition, and held the same as capital asset till 30th September 2019. That means capital asset hold कर land 50 lakh का price है December 2008. She started a real estate business on 1st October 2019. मतलब capital asset converted into stock in trade in 1920. Capital gain has arisen, but it will not be taxable now. It will be taxable in the year of sale of this land, but indexation will be from the year 89 to 1920. 89 से 1920 का indexation मिलेगा. Correct? Converted into stock in trade when the fair market value was 300 lakhs. This will be sale consideration. 300 lakh will be sale consideration, and cost of acquisition will be 50 lakhs indexed up to 1920. So मिल गया capital gain. But when will that capital gain will be taxable? The total capital gain will be 300 minus 50, which will be indexed from 89 to 1920. Indexation will stop. That's the total capital gain. But in which year that will be taxable? In the year of sale of stock. She constructed 20 apartments of equal size, quality, dimension. Means all 20 are same apartments. And the construction was completed in December 21. मतलब land के ऊपर building construct किया, तो land का भी cost होएगा, and then the 20 apartments construct करने का cost of construction for each apartment is 15 lakh. Of course, if all are same, then construction will be same only, no? So that what is the total cost of the apartment का construction? That will be PGBP expense. See, this was capital gain का expense. Correct? So this selling price, this cost of acquisition indexed up to a certain date, and this will become capital gain ka cost when PGBP ka cost of the land, and then building banane ka cost 15 lakh, out of which she sold 14 apartments at 40 lakhs per apartment in this period, January to February 22. मतलब आ गया PGBP income. PGBP बोला ना, this is PGBP of AY 22 to 23. Total apartment she has 20, but 20 में से she has sold only 14. So 14 into 40 lakh आपका selling price होगा. In cost, we will take the cost of the apartment, that will be 15 lakh. So 14 into 15 lakh, and then जो land है ना, that land का cost. What will be the cost in PGBP? The selling price under capital gain. Conversion के अंदर selling price of capital gain. So this 300, but पूरा नहीं लेंगे. This 300 का land is used to construct 20, and now we have sold only 14. So 300 into 14 by 20 will be the cost of land under PGBP, because we have sold only 14 right now. And वो 14 apartment बनाने का 15 lakh each का cost, that total cost and selling price will be 40 lakh each. ये हो गया PGBP of the current year. And capital gain, because the stock is sold, so capital gain will also come. यही 300 minus 50 indexed up to 1920. That's the gain. But then again, if we sell all the apartments, then full capital gain will be taxable. We have sold only 14. As we sell the stock, we will be having gain. So 14 by 20 सिर्फ आपका taxable होगा, and the remaining 6 apartments were held as stock in trade. मतलब in the current year AY 22-23, 14 apartment का PGBP and 14 का proportionate capital gain will come. All 6 apartments were sold in April 22 at 40 lakh. बोला ना next year का capital gain and PGBP. Now see, 6 into 40 lakh will be selling price next year, because in the third question they are asking next year. पता चला why we read question first? Next year का, that will be PGBP का sales 14 into 40 lakh. Cost क्या होगा? Apartment का 6 into 15 lakhs apartment का, and land का 300 into 14 by 20. Last time we have taken cost, and now balance 6 by 20 we will take. This time cost, and again capital gain will also come. Whatever was capital gain over here, we taxed in the year of sale of stock. Last year 14 was sold, so this capital gain 14 by 20, and this year 6 sold, so that capital gain 6 by 20 means the total capital gain also is taxed in the 2 years. First year 14 ka and second year 6 ka. She also holds a penthouse in Nagpur, construction of which was completed in March 21 as stock in trade. She let out the penthouse to Mr. Harish, a salaried individual, for 60,000 per month from April to March 23, who furnished pan to her. Matlab Harish will pay her rent, and she has given her penthouse on rent, which was held as stock in trade. This was held as stock in trade. Listen, if you have rental income it will still be house plot. Even if it is stock in trade. When does it go in PGBP? Chennai Properties का जो Supreme Court का judgment है, that says if renting is your only business, what is our business? Construction and sale of houses. Rent is incidental, so it will go in house property, house property, house property. 60,000 है, okay. 60,000. Obviously, we will see in the current year total आपका GAV मिलेगा. We will calculate the house property also. So will there be tax? Yes. He paid municipal taxes of 7,200 for 21, 22 and 22, 23 in March. That means, is the municipal tax paid, sir? Yes. Paid होएगा तो allowed. लेकिन क्या game खेला है? Listen, what game they have paid? He paid बोला. He मतलब who paid? Mallika is she. He paid मतलब Harish paid. मतलब municipal tax paid by the tenant बोला. She बोला होता ना she. Then we will give deduction. Municipal tax is allowed if paid by landlord. Paid है. But he बोला ना. They didn't say Harish paid or Mallika paid. Harish paid मतलब tenant, not allowed. Mallika paid मतलब landlord allowed. They said he मतलब who? Harish. Now don't assume, sir. Can we assume that Mallika is a male and Harish is a female? बोलता था अभी कुछ. मतलब हरीश हैज पेड, मतलब टेनेंट हैज पेड, मतलब म्युनिसिपल टैक्स नो डिडक्शन, मतलब 60,000 into 12 GAV नो डिडक्शन, सो दैट ऑल्सो NAV, वो उसका स्टैंडर्ड डिडक्शन वी विल गिव. द सेड पेंटहाउस thereafter was sold in April 23. मतलब इन दिस ईयर तो एटलीस्ट देयर विल बी रेंटल इनकम टैक्सेबल 21, 22 के अंदर. ओके. शी इन्वेस्टेड 20 lakhs in the bonds issued by NHAI on 31st March 22 and 20 lakh in bonds of RECL on 30th June 22. अच्छा, मतलब इधर जो कैपिटल गेन्स आएगा ना, देयर विल बी कैपिटल गेन इन जनवरी फेब्रुवरी. कैपिटल गेन आया वो 14 वाले का प्रोपोर्शन, लैंड कन्वर्टेड नो, तो 14 के प्रोपोर्शन में वी हैव टू टेक, उसके सामने वी कैन टेक द एग्जेम्पशन. इट इज विद इन 6 months. RECL भी है एंड 10 lakh in bonds of RECL. So total is 50 lakhs. That is done. Okay. We will see what exemption to give later because capital gain compute करने का बोला है. And there is RECL का bonds purchase on September also and again December also. That means March में purchase 20 lakh, June में purchase 20 lakh, September में purchased 10 lakh and December में purchased 10 lakh. And she is subject to tax audit for the previous year 21-20. All the cost inflation indices are given. From the information, choose the most appropriate answer. सबसे पहले calculate current year का capital gain. देखो, apartment sale का profit will go in PGBP. Let me be clear. कौन सा capital gain आएगा? Land converted into stock. Selling price will be FMV 300. Cost price will be 50. Indexed up to 1920. That will be total gain. That gain is taxed in which year? In the year of sale of stock. So this year we will calculate the full gain but pay tax only on 14. मतलब total gain into 14 by 20. How will we calculate? Sale consideration 300 lakh. Cost क्या लेगा? 50 lakh का indexation from 8989 का 137 and 1920 का 289. So that will be index cost 1 crore 5 lakh 47 455. This is the total capital gain. So as and when you sell your stock, you keep on selling or you keep on paying tax. बोला ना, all apartments are of equal size and dimension. Total, supposingly she sells all the apartments, means full land is also gone. On the land apartment is constructed. All apartments sold, मतलब full land gone. Then we would have taken full capital gain. But right now only 14 are sold. So 14 by 20, 136, 16, 788 is your capital gain. But from this capital gain, the assessee will be eligible for 54 EC. कौन सा? The sale took place in January, February. तो you have to see इसके 6 months के अंदर क्या क्या हुआ. मार्च का 20 is within 6 months. जून का 20 is also within 6 months. समझ में आता है? जनवरी फरवरी में अगर आपने सेल किया है अपार्टमेंट्स तो NHA RECL within 6 months and within 50 lakh limit. So 20 plus 20 40 within 6 months and within. समझ में आया? ये सितंबर का हम लोग नहीं ले सकता है. राइट नाउ वी कैन नॉट टेक द सितंबर वाला बिकॉज यहां से इट इज बियॉन्ड 6 months. हाँ, जो रिमेनिंग 6 अपार्टमेंट्स विच गॉट सोल्ड इन अप्रैल उसका हम लोग देखेगा इफ वी कैन टेक. but here we can take only 40 lakh जो भी within 6 months हुआ है. 96, 16, 788 is going to be your taxable capital gain. What is the amount chargeable in PGBP? PGBP क्या है? Apartment sold, apartment बनाने का cost and land का the FMV which is selling price in capital gain which will become cost here. But again total 300 is FMV of full land, but we are selling only 14. मतलब 14 by 20 का land also proportionate is sold. So how will we calculate? 14 into 40 lakh per apartment is selling price. 40 lakh का selling price है, that will give you total selling price. Cost क्या है? Apartment बनाने का तो 15 lakh का cost था, construction cost of apartment, and land का we will take FMV becomes cost. Selling price of capital gain becomes cost here, but in the proportion of 14 by 20. So 1 crore 40 lakh will be her PGBP income, 140 lakh. What is the amount of chargeable capital gain and PGBP next year? अरे यही सेम कैलकुलेशन है. कैपिटल गेन तो बहुत इजी है. यू हैव टेकन ये कैपिटल गेन ईयर 14 by 20, इसका जो बैलेंस कैपिटल गेन 6 by 20 बिकॉज नाउ रिमेनिंग आर ऑल्सो सोल्ड. एंड नाउ व्हेन आर दे सोल्ड? द रिमेनिंग हाउसेज आर सोल्ड इन April 22. तो April 22 का जो रिमेनिंग कैपिटल गेन है अगेन NHA RECL इन्वेस्टमेंट, बट विद इन 6 months में ओनली द September वाला 10 lakh will be eligible, the December वाला 10 lakh will not be eligible. So how will we calculate capital gain? 194.52 555 was the total gain. उसमें से how much gain we have taken here? 136.16. So you adjust that, or you can take 194.52 555 into 6 by 20 करेगा तो सेम मिलेगा. 58.35 and 54 EC only of 10 lakh, only September वाला, December beyond 6 months है. So capital gain 48.35 767, 48 और 766 राउंड अप का ही डिफरेंस है. मतलब if you have brains no, you can understand that these three are wrong. 10 lakh जिसने नहीं लिया ना उसका ये आएगा. Remember 10 lakh will come and 20 मत लेना क्योंकि December वाला not eligible. And PGBP will be very easy. PGBP will be very easy. 6 apartments 40 lakh, apartment का cost 15 lakh and land का cost 6 by 20 का proportion. PGBP सब में 60 lakh है. So the real trick is NHA RECL का you take only 10 lakh. September वाला you take December वाला. If you take both then you will get 38. If you take none then you will get 58. But if you take only September वाला then that will only give you your correct answer. Is the annual value taxable? Yes, because renting is not main income. It is taxable under house property. Correct? But how will we compute? GAV? No municipal tax because he, Harish, tenant paid. So 720 standard deduction 5,04,000 will be taxable under income from house property. Is Harish liable to deduct TDS? Is Harish liable? Harish is a salaried individual. So 194 I may not covered, but IB में तो covered ना. More than 50,000 per month. IB का क्या rule है? Full year TDS from last month rent. Full year TDS from last month rent. So what will we do? No is not the answer. Liable 6,000 every month? No. 3,000 every month? No. Full year 7,20,000 का 5%, 36,000 from the last month. That is how Harish will deduct TDS. समझा क्या? Case study bro. Some more difficult things coming out. And because these are difficult, today's lecture we will keep small. Capital gain and other sources and balance we will finish off in our next class. On the basis of given facts, answer 94, 95, 96, 97, 98 तक cover हो जाएगा. 5 questions. Delta Limited has 3 units, alpha, beta and gamma. It transferred unit gamma to epsilon by way of slump sale. Gamma is sold. So we are interested in assets and liabilities of gamma. The balance sheet of Delta Limited is given. अच्छा पहले questions देख लेते हैं. Compute the capital gain on slump sale of unit gamma. What for computing capital gain? What would be the cost of acquisition? Slump sale में cost क्या होता है? Net worth तो gamma का net worth will have to find. What is the tax liability? Obviously they will give us the selling price of slump sale. Cost we will get in this answer. So we will get the capital gain and then we will see if it is long term or short term. Accordingly we will calculate the gain. If unit gamma was set up in 2010 instead of 20, अच्छा दिया हुआ है that the unit was set up in 2020. 20 मतलब short term हो गया. Short term हो गया मतलब normal rate of tax will apply. 2010 हो गया तो long term हो गया. And the sale consideration is 3,000 instead of 1,320. What will be the capital gain and tax? मतलब इफ इट इज अ रिसेंट यूनिट 2020 का यूनिट तो शॉर्ट टर्म एंड द रेट ऑफ टैक्स, एंड अगर 2010 है तो लॉन्ग टर्म एंड द रेट ऑफ टैक्स. ओके, व्हाट वुड बी द मिनिमम अल्टरनेट टैक्स if delta is located in IFSC and derives solely in convertible foreign exchange? What will be the MAT? अगर IFSC होएगा तो बुक प्रॉफिट होगा, तो बुक प्रॉफिट के ऊपर we will apply 15%, then we will see surcharge and cess. If delta is unit in IFSC, what would be the tax implication at the time of dividend? Okay, मतलब we will see that other data later. IFSC से मतलब first 3 questions are on slump sale and last 2 are on MAT and IFSC. चलिए देखते हैं. Unit gamma was sold by way of slump sale. Balance sheet is given. Alpha, beta, gamma, we are interested in this. Alpha, beta, gamma, we are interested in this. In liabilities also we are interested in this. मतलब we have assets, all assets and liabilities. Lump sum consideration is given. Lump sum consideration मतलब ये sale consideration हो गया. Net worth will become cost. Net worth is the answer to the first question. Gain मिलेगा, उस पर tax करना is the second question. And in third question they change the selling price. If it is 3000 lakhs तो क्या होगा, एंड द एक्विजिशन डेट ऑल्सो देयर. ठीक है. फिक्स्ड एसेट्स ऑफ यूनिट गामा मतलब ये 825 इंक्लूड लैंड विच वाज परचेस्ड एट 90 लाख इन मार्च 20 एंड रीवैल्यूड एट 135. मतलब रीवैल्यू किया 135 के ऊपर, इसका वैल्यू हम 135 नहीं लेगा, वी विल टेक 90. रिवैल्यूएशन हैज टू बी इग्नोर्ड. एंड द अदर फिक्स्ड एसेट, इफ फ्रॉम दिस 825 दिस 135 इज रिमूव्ड, तो remaining becomes 690, which represent written down value of the asset as per books, but written down value as per income tax 615. मतलब ये 825 is not our answer only. इसमें से land is at 135 but we will take it at 90 क्योंकि revaluation ignored, and other assets in the books are 690 but we will take the WDV. So ये हो गया fixed assets का. In net worth we will take 90 and 615. We will not take 825. ठीक है. करंट एसेट्स के अंदर तो वी विल टेक द एक्चुअल वैल्यू ओनली, ये तो उसका लायबिलिटीज हो ही जाएगा. यूनिट गामा वाज सेट अप इन मार्च 20 एंड व्हेन आर वी डूइंग द स्लम्प सेल 22. दैट मींस कैन आई से लेस देन 36 मंथ्स. इट्स अ शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन, एंड अगर शॉर्ट टर्म है तो नॉर्मल रेट होगा. इसलिए दे हैव गिवन दैट थर्ड क्वेश्चन. इफ इट वाज सेट अप इन 2010 तो लॉन्ग टर्म होता, देन द कैपिटल गेन आल्सो विल चेंज. करेक्ट और नो? बट यहां पे इट इज शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन. शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन, तो जो टैक्स कैलकुलेट होगा ना ब्रो, वो नॉर्मल रेट ऑफ कंपनी, और नॉर्मल रेट ऑफ कंपनी अब देखना पड़ेगा ओल्ड रेजिम, न्यू रेजिम, एवरीथिंग. अज्यूम दैट टर्नओवर इन 1920 इज 129.5. डेल्टा लिमिटेड हैज नॉट ऑप्टेड. नॉट ऑप्टेड मतलब ओल्ड रेजिम, और ओल्ड रेजिम में टर्नओवर इज रेलेवेंट मतलब 25% विल बी द बेसिक टैक्स रेट. ओल्ड देखो शॉर्ट टर्म है क्योंकि मार्च 20. अंडरस्टैंड द इफेक्ट. शॉर्ट टर्म मतलब नॉर्मल रेट. नॉर्मल रेट में वी हैव टू सी द टैक्स रेट ऑफ कंपनी. ओल्ड रेजिम में वी विल अप्लाई 25%, फिर सरचार्ज देखेंगे ऑन द अमाउंट ऑफ गेन, एंड एचईसी विल ऑलवेज कम. जैसे ही लॉन्ग टर्म बन गया इन द थर्ड क्वेश्चन दैट दे हैव आस्क्ड, इनफैक्ट दे हैव चेंज्ड द सेलिंग प्राइस आल्सो बिकॉज़ मार्च 2010 सेलिंग प्राइस. लॉन्ग टर्म बन गया, गेन अमाउंट ऑफ कोर्स विल चेंज, एंड उस पर रेट भी 20% लगेगा. लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन 20%, सरचार्ज अगेन वी विल सी. बुक प्रॉफिट इज गिवन, इसलिए मैट का बोला है ना. सो IFSC ऑल यू हैव टू अप्लाई 9% ऑन दिस. 4 करोड़ है मतलब सरचार्ज आएगा 7%. इंडियन कंपनी 7% बिटवीन 1 करोड़ एंड 10 करोड़ एंड HEC. नाउ चूज द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट आंसर. कंप्यूट द कैपिटल गेन. व्हाट वुड बी द डीम्ड कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन एंड द रिजल्टिंग कैपिटल गेन. व्हाट वुड बी द कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन. देखो 1320 तो आपका सेलिंग प्राइस है, कॉस्ट विल बी नेटवर्थ. नेटवर्थ में हमने डिसाइड कर लिया एसेट्स, फिक्स्ड एसेट्स क्या लेंगे 90 एंड 615. वॉट एवर दे हैव गिवन इज रॉन्ग, वी हैव टू टेक द वैल्यू एज पर टैक्स. करंट एसेट्स 585, वेरी इजी. सो फिक्स्ड एसेट्स यहां से, करंट एसेट यहां से. नाउ दैट्स द टोटल ऑफ एसेट्स. इसमें से विल सबट्रैक्ट अवर लायबिलिटीज. ये भी वेरी इजी, खाली फिक्स्ड एसेट में दिमाग लगाना. ये है तुम्हारा नेटवर्थ विच इज कॉस्ट. 1320 ऑलरेडी गिवन टू यू एज सेलिंग प्राइस. 165 विल बी योर कैपिटल गेन. 1 crore 65 lakh. So 1320 is the selling price. What are they asking you? What is the cost of acquisition and capital gain? Cost क्या आया हमारा? Net worth 1155 and 165 is the gain amount. 1155 and 165 given to you in option D. What is the tax liability? देखो gain compute हो गया 165. Short term है, short term. Why it is short term? Because it was less than 36 months. तो नॉर्मल रेट ऑफ टैक्स, नॉर्मल रेट हमने डिसाइड कर लिया, ओल्ड रेजिम 25%, तो 165 पे 25%, सरचार्ज आएगा 1 करोड़ 65 लाख से, मतलब 7%, आफ्टर 10 करोड़ इट विल बी 12% and 4% cess. So 45, 90, 300. What will be the tax liability? 45, 90, 300. अगर ये 2010 होता मतलब लॉन्ग टर्म बन जाता एंड सेलिंग प्राइस ऑल्सो दे आर चेंजिंग, नेट वर्थ तो चेंज नहीं होएगा, नेट वर्थ विल रिमेन 1155, मतलब दिस टाइम वी विल टेक सेल प्राइस 3000 lakhs एंड कॉस्ट प्राइस 1155 और वो लॉन्ग टर्म बन जाएगा. व्हाट डू वी हैव? 3000 इज द सेलिंग प्राइस, 1155 ये ही नेट वर्थ कॉस्ट बनेगा, 1845, बट दिस टाइम लॉन्ग टर्म मतलब 20%, 20%, और ये कैपिटल गेन मित्रों 18 करोड़ हो गया है. दिस वाज 165, 165, समझा क्या? बट दिस इज 1845, और 1845 आते ही सरचार्ज, इतना डिटेल में यू हैव बीन टेस्टेड, यू अप्लाई 7% सरचार्ज, वन ऑफ द रॉन्ग आंसर्स यू विल बी गेटिंग, इतना डिटेल में यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल. एंड सेस 429.81, ये राउंडेड अप ऑफ कोर्स आपको दिया हुआ. व्हाट वुड बी द मैट? दिस इज इजी. बुक प्रॉफिट 4 करोड़, आईएफएससी मतलब 9%, 4 करोड़ है मतलब 7% सरचार्ज, इधर 18 करोड़ था इसलिए 10% भी एडेड, 4 करोड़ है मतलब क्या रहेगा? 7% and 4%, so 400 lakh, 9% plus 7% plus 4%, 40.0608, that is 40 lakh 6,080. If delta being a unit of IFSC deriving convertible foreign exchange and derived and distributed dividend of 200 lakh, what would be the tax implication? पहले एक जमाने में ना DDT लगता था, but IFSC में it was exempt, but now there is no DDT. So any provision which says that DDT is applicable is wrong. No dividend distribution tax in the hands of delta and no income tax in the hands of shareholders. When shareholders are earning dividend from IFSC, there will be no tax. Shareholders will not be liable to pay tax. So no DDT for delta and no tax in the hands of shareholders, because it is IFSC, the shares are held by foreign investors, so no tax on the shareholder also. Complete immunity granted. On the basis of above facts, again answer 93 to 103. So 93, 94, 99 to 103, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103. चल ठीक है, एक बार फिर वही सिस्टम फॉलो करते हैं, क्वेश्चंस देख लेते हैं. What would be the amount of taxable on transfer of plant and machinery from unit A to unit B? मतलब 2 यूनिट होगा, they are asking amount taxable. Cost of acquisition for computing capital gain, मतलब again net worth. Tax payable on capital gain on slump sale, similar question. Due date of furnishing report of CA, not to be checked. If it is an audit case, तो October will be the ये return का due date, तो 1 month before September. एंड डीमर्जर के अंदर क्या कैपिटल गेन, मतलब कैलकुलेशन इज इन्वॉल्व ओनली इन 99, 100 एंड 101. टैक्स ऑन प्लांट एंड मशीनरी इज आस्क्ड, कॉस्ट फॉर कैपिटल गेन एंड टैक्स ऑन कैपिटल गेन. ठीक है, आइडिया आ गया व्हाट आई हैव टू फोकस ऑन. एक्स लिमिटेड हैज 2 यूनिट्स, यूनिट ए एंड यूनिट बी, एंगेज्ड इन सेटिंग अप एंड ऑपरेटिंग ऑफ वेयर हाउसिंग फैसिलिटी फॉर स्टोरेज ऑफ शुगर. मतलब ए इज अ 35 AD बिजनेस एंड बी इज एडिबल ऑयल. बी इज नॉट 35 AD. A is specified business because it is a sugar, but edible oil is not covered in 35 since 2015 मतलब long term होएगा, correct है. An Indian company takes over unit B by way of slump sale on 25th July 21. देख लो भाई, 6 years हो गया है, that means it is going to be long term, correct. Selling price of slump sale is given and transfer expenses also given. So in computation of capital gain on slump sale, सेलिंग प्राइस माइनस ट्रांसफर एक्सपेंस एनएससी मिलेगा एंड वॉट एवर नेटवर्थ यू विल गेट. अभी हम यूनिट बी पे फोकस करेगा. यूनिट बी का नेटवर्थ इज गोइंग टू बी कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन, दैट विल गिव अस आवर आंसर टू क्वेश्चन 1, एंड दिस कॉस्ट सबट्रैक्ट फ्रॉम द एनएससी दैट यू कंप्यूट. गेन करोगे, ये लॉन्ग टर्म है तो 20% प्लस सरचार्ज प्लस है, सरचार्ज देख लेना 1 करोड़ 10 करोड़ देख लेना, दैट विल गिव अस आवर आंसर टू क्वेश्चंस 1. क्वेश्चंस 2 and 3 प्लांट एंड मशीनरी का हमको देखना पड़ेगा. Okay, expenses incurred for this transfer are given and balance sheet is given. We have to focus on unit B. So fixed asset, debtors, inventories. On the liability side, we have bank loan. इसमें B का कितना है? Right now they don't have. We have not been given information. And creditors में 40, मतलब 280 का तो we will take 45%. Loan में if there is anything for B, we will need data. Unit A transferred plant and machinery on 2nd May 21 to Unit B, acquired for 30 lakhs on 31st August 2018. ये पहला क्वेश्चन है. Is there any amount taxable on transfer of plant and machinery from unit A to unit B? If there was no slump sale, listen, unit A is specified business. It acquired plant and machinery on 31st October 18. That means it must have taken full cost as deduction. 30 lakh का cost as deduction. Correct है कि नहीं? But there is a lock-in of 8 years. अगर 8 years में आपने ट्रांसफर कर दिया तो the deduction taken 30 lakh minus the depreciation foregone. Depreciation कितने साल का foregone हुआ था? ये 21 है, मतलब 18-19 का depreciation, 19-20 का depreciation and 2021 3 साल का depreciation भी है foregone. We purchased for specified business 30 lakh, took the cost in 35 AD and did not take any depreciation in 18-19, 19-20, 20-21 and 21-22 को हमने lock-in period contravene किया. Means we have to reverse, that means pay tax on 30 lakh but not full 30. 3 साल का depreciation adjust करके. So ठीक है, people will do what? 30 lakh लेके 3 years का depreciation minus करके they'll get the present value that they will say is taxable answer. अगर आप direct 30 lakh बोला तो you are wrong because net of depreciation. 3 साल का depreciation लिया then also you can go wrong क्योंकि 18-19 में ये अक्टूबर में लिया था. अगर depreciation मिलता तो 18-19 का depreciation would have been 15% का half. That's depreciation of 18-19. Then 19-20 का full. Then 20-21 का full. That amount you will have to pay tax. अरे समझा क्या? Revaluation reserve is created solely by revising upward the value of fixed assets of unit B. अच्छा, मतलब ये 110 जो है ना, this was upward revaluation year. Means this के अंदर there will be some correction. 280 नहीं लेके, we cannot take 280. Here we cannot take 280. इस 280 में से we will have to subtract 110. That we are sure. We are sure we have to subtract 110. Okay. तो remaining 170 बचा. We will have to see what to do. In fixed asset of unit B, value of land is included at revalued figure of 160 lakh which was purchased. अच्छा, तो यही revaluation है. देखो, land purchase कितने में किया? 50 lakhs. But revalued at 160. So do you understand 110 का revaluation? यही वो revaluation है. That means in this 280, we have written land of 160. Other asset कितना बच गया? 120. Okay. Revaluation minus करने का जरूरत नहीं. Because this 160 we will take 50. Already this revaluation is minus. ये जो revaluation है, it is this land only. This land का valued figure is 160, but we will take 50. That means have we ignored revaluation? तो land 50. अब other asset लेना है. मतलब revaluation का amount is already taken care of. Land का value 50, revaluation taken care of, other asset. And value of plant and machinery acquired at 30 lakh. अच्छा, मतलब ये जो other asset है 120, इसमें भी plant and machinery 30 lakh original cost पे लिया हुआ है. We have to take it at the present value, at the depreciated figure we will be taking. तो जो amount वहां पे add होता है ना in the income, that amount will become the present. 18-19 से depreciation करके आज का value लाओगे ना, तो we will convert that. तो इसको भी हम लोग depreciate करके लाएंगे, the written down value, and the balance कितना बचा? 90 we will take full. So what is the fixed asset of unit B? Let me explain. 280, उसमें 160 land का value. Remove that. That land is a revalued land. So we will take only 50 in slump sale. And that 110 is already taken care of. Ignore हो गया. मतलब 280 में से 160 is taken care of. We have to take only 50. Now come to the remaining 120. इसमें plant and machinery का figure is given 30. We can't take that 30. That's the original cost. We have to take the WDV. WDV कैसे होएगा? From this date, depreciated figure. वही जो हम tax भर रहे हैं ना? That amount which is taxable due to violation of lock-in period. That also is the WDV. No? तो ये 30 lakh का we will compute that taxable amount which will also become the WDV. तो 30 के अंदर we will not take 30. We will take the WDV. और बाकी का जो 90 है that we have to take full. That means we have to take 50 of land. Machinery का depreciated value. Original cost minus so many years का depreciation, which also coincidentally is the amount taxable due to violation. Same amount and balance 99. No individual value is considered. चलिए ठीक. Bank loan is specific nature. 70% is for unit B. B का पहले दिया. मतलब creditors में 45% and bank loan में हमको 70% मिलेगा. मतलब liabilities का भी we have data. X Limited does not have any associated enterprise or deemed associated enterprise. मतलब transfer pricing not applicable. तो अगर 139(1) ड्यू डेट बोलूंगा तो 31st अक्टूबर, तो फिर सीए का रिपोर्ट हैज टू बी फर्निश्ड 1 month बिफोर दैट एंड देयरफॉर सीए का रिपोर्ट वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस इज ऑलरेडी आंसर्ड. 1 month before the due date. So 30th September. Now answer. What would be the amount taxable on plant and machinery? The deduction taken, original cost 30 lakh minus the depreciation foregone, which will also become WDV for the purpose of slump sale. बस याद रखना 18-19 का हाफ रेट. सो 18-19 में कॉस्ट लिया 30 लाख, डेप्रिसिएशन 15% हाफ रेट, तो 2.25 दैट विल गिव यू 27,75,000. फिर 19-20 का डेप्रिसिएशन करो 15% फुल ईयर, 20-20 का डेप्रिसिएशन करो फुल ईयर, सो 20,04,937. 20,04,937 विल बिकम योर टैक्सेबल अमाउंट, और वो ही आपका WDV भी बनेगा फॉर स्लम सेल का नेटवर्क कैलकुलेशन. दिस विल बी योर टैक्सेबल अमाउंट. व्हाट विल बी द कॉस्ट ऑफ एक्विजिशन? अब स्लम सेल का नेटवर्क करना है. एक लैंड का 50 लाख, नाउ वी हैव मशीनरी का 20,04,937, एंड देन नाउ वी आल्सो हैव अदर एसेट्स ऑफ 90 लाख. तो फिक्स एसेट हो गया, बाकी का एसेट यू जस्ट हैव टू टेक 175 and 100 minus the liabilities. Now it has become very easy. Land 50, plant and machinery का this only, original cost minus the depreciation, WDV as per income tax. Other assets 90 lakh, क्योंकि 280 में से 160 and 30 gone, तो there are other fixed assets also, no? 160 का we are taking 50, 30 का we are taking depreciated value, but other assets at book value. Debtors and stock, ये total of assets देगा. Then liabilities में बैंक लोन में 70% दिया एडजस्टमेंट में, and creditors में 45%. 228,54,937 will become your cost of acquisition. 228,54. Minute to minute detail has been tested. What would be the amount of tax payable on slump sale? मतलब अभी गेन करना है. देखो कॉस्ट मिल गया ना, गेन इज वेरी इजी. GSC ट्रांसफर एक्सपेंस गिवन 415 and 10,50. NSC में से सब्ट्रैक्ट, एंड दिस इज लॉन्ग टर्म, सो 20%. फिर सरचार्ज देख लेना, सरचार्ज में डोंट मेक मिस्टेक, ब्राइटेस्ट स्टूडेंट्स गो रॉन्ग इन सरचार्ज. तो 415 GSC 1050. नेट सेल कंसिडरेशन लिख के टाइम पास मत करो, यू आर नॉट शोइंग अ प्रेजेंटेशन समा. तो दिस कॉस्ट विल बिकम द कॉस्ट हियर 1,75 लाख. 1 से 10 के बीच में लॉन्ग टर्म का रेट 20. ये कंफ्यूज करने के लिए दिया है, नॉट ऑप्टेड. नहीं तो तुम गलती से ना तुम 25% नहीं लगा दे. 20, 7%, 4%, 39, 15, 957. 39, 15, 957. अरे समझा क्या मित्रों? ड्यू डेट ऑफ फर्निशिंग CA रिपोर्ट, ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग नॉट एप्लीकेबल, तो रिटर्न के लिए अक्टूबर, सो 1 month बिफोर, दैट विल बी 30th of September. Assuming X Limited has transferred unit B to Y Limited in accordance with demerger. मतलब slump sale नहीं किया, demerger किया. Bro, जो slump sale का क्वेश्चन आता है ना, in that we give a recommendation that in demerger there is not a taxable transfer for the shareholder also and company also. तो demerger में tax नहीं आता. Then what would be the tax liability? If it was not slump sale, it was demerger, that would be no capital gain. Would be taxable? No. Would be taxable? No. Would be taxable? No. No capital gain would be arising in case it is demerger. In a case it is demerger, there will be no capital gain that will be arising. मित्रों समझा? And the last case study, understood the importance of these MCQ lectures. Case study based, case scenario based questions, 100% case study digest this time I have covered. Now last case study 104 to 107. Lot of data again given. Baap re baap, baap re baap. Look at the size of the question. Practice makes a man perfect. But अपना system. Compute the long-term capital gain on sale of shares. अच्छा, मतलब there will be shares. Compute long-term gain. Compute the short-term capital gain. ठीक है. Which of the following is correct in respect of transfer of GDR, ADR, GDR? ठीक है. मतलब long-term on shares, short-term on shares, GDR. What will be the total income other than capital gain? ठीक है, मतलब other income भी हमको लेना है. मतलब लॉन्ग टर्म ऑन शेयर्स, शॉर्ट टर्म ऑन शेयर्स, GDR का कैपिटल गेन एंड अदर इनकम. 4 ही क्वेश्चन है. चलिए फिर 4 ही क्वेश्चन है तो एक एक करके किया जाए. पहले डेटा, लेट्स रीड. मिस्टर शिवम, एन इंडियन सिटीजन, हैज लेफ्ट इंडिया विथ हिज फैमिली व्हेन ही वाज 16 years old to US on 31st March 21. इंडिविजुअल, सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया, नॉन रेजिडेंट. He was interested in cricket since his childhood days and took cricket as his career. ये तो नासिर हुसैन लग रहा है. Left India, now plays cricket. For playing T20 matches, he came to India on 15 Feb 20. मतलब February में आया है. That means he was in India only for what, 31 and about 15-16 days. About some 40 days or something. Yes or no? Very good. Mr. Shivam has made the following investment. मित्तल लाइफस्टाइल लिमिटेड 1 जून 18, 60 लाख उन्होंने रुपीस में बोला है, बट इट इज परचेस्ड इन यूएस डॉलर. मतलब लिसन, शेयर्स ऑफ एन इंडियन कंपनी परचेस्ड इन फॉरेक्स. इज इट अ फॉरेक्स एसेट? इज इट अ फॉरेक्स एसेट? यस. तो जो गेन कैलकुलेट होगा ना, इफ द डेटा कन्वर्जन रेट इज गिवन फॉर डॉलर्स, if the conversion rate is given, did I tell you in one of the questions, selling price converted into dollars, cost converted into dollars, everything at average rate, final gain will be converted at buy rate. STT not paid on purchases, क्योंकि STT paid on purchase होता तो फिर 112A में चला जाता. HEG Limited STT paid on purchase, again same date 1st June, but this was purchased in rupees. मतलब this is not a forex asset. तो इस पे you don't have to convert. Means I'll tell you the rule. If the purchase and sale has happened in foreign currency, then you will compute the full gain in foreign currency and last ka gain convert back into Indian currency. But if you purchase and sell in rupees, then gain directly compute in rupees. This is a forex asset. This is a forex asset. This is not a forex asset. Dabur Limited STT not paid on purchase. This was purchased in foreign. ठीक है, मतलब Dabur is also purchased in foreign. मतलब this is forex asset. This is forex asset. This is not फॉरेक्स एसेट. मतलब इसका डायरेक्टली सेल माइनस कॉस्ट इन रुपीस में होगा. दिस कैलकुलेशन वी माइट हैव टू डू इन फॉरेन करेंसी. एंड दीज आर दी शेयर्स. अरे कैपिटल गेन ऑन शेयर्स पूछा ना, फर्स्ट 2 क्वेश्चंस, लॉन्ग टर्म ऑन शेयर्स, शॉर्ट टर्म ऑन शेयर्स, लॉन्ग टर्म ऑन शेयर्स, शॉर्ट टर्म ऑन शेयर्स. दिस वाज इन्वेस्टेड इन 18 and this is invested in 21. I have used my brain. I know this will be long term, this will be long term, but this will be short term. So Mittal and HEG के शेयर्स का जो भी गेन होगा, this is forex asset, तो compute in foreign currency. And this is not forex asset, so compute in Indian currency. That total will be answer to first question, long term capital gain. And Dabur ka shares is forex asset, compute in foreign currency, so you will have short term capital gain. 100 GDRs, 2000 per GDR, acquired in 2010, purchased in US dollar, non-resident. He was not in India after 2001. He purchased in 2010. I don't think this has got anything to do with India. When is GDR ka sale taxable in India? When the underlying asset is an Indian company ka security. Indian company ka securities. Exchange mein you take GDR. That GDR you sell, that will attract tax. But you have invested in GDR in 2010 when you were outside India. That means, let us put it this way, this GDR has got non-resident. देखो resident होता तो world income is taxable, लेकिन non-resident है. तो नॉन रेसिडेंट GDR acquired outside India, we don't see any taxation arising out here. If it was underlying asset was Indian company securities, then maybe. Bonds of Indian company issued abroad and purchased in foreign currency. Issued abroad and purchased in foreign currency. So 10 lakh purchased in US dollar. But ये bond का कुछ capital gain is not asked to you. I hope you understand. Capital gain is asked for shares and ADR GDR. First 3 questions. ओके. 10% डिबेंचर्स ऑफ इंडियन कंपनी विच इज अनलिस्टेड 15 में परचेस किया, एंड ये भी डॉलर में परचेस किया. मतलब दीज आर ऑल्सो योर फॉरेक्स एसेट्स ओनली. एनी इनकम अराइजिंग, आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड, विल बिकम इन्वेस्टमेंट इनकम. चलिए, मिस्टर शिवम रिसीव्ड 11 लाख एज डिविडेंड फ्रॉम द अबव कंपनी. अभी इतना शेयर्स है तो डिविडेंड होगा. ऑल द अबव इन्वेस्टमेंट इन शेयर्स वर सोल्ड बाय शिवम. दिस इज द ट्रांसफर डेट 20th January 22. अब सुनो, मतलब कहना इसे दिस इज लॉन्ग टर्म, दिस इज लॉन्ग टर्म, this is short term, this is less than 12 months. समझा क्या? मित्तल, I already decided, मित्तल HEG long term and Dabur का short term. That will be giving you the answer to question 1 and 2. Other thing, this is the transfer date. तो जो forex वाला है, that is Mittal and Dabur, you have to convert everything in the foreign currency. GSC and transfer expense at average rate of this date. Cost of acquisition will be converted at average rate of purchase date. That will be your June वाला, this वाला date. कॉस्ट वो रेट पे कन्वर्ट होगा. दैट विल गिव यू गेन, एंड देन गेन विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू बाय रेट. एंड एसटीटी वाज पेड ऑन द सेल ट्रांजैक्शन. तो सुनो, इन लॉन्ग टर्म एसटीटी हैज टू बी पेड ऑन परचेस एंड सेल बोथ. इन लॉन्ग टर्म एसटीटी हैज टू बी पेड ऑन परचेस एंड सेल बोथ. तो मित्तल इज लॉन्ग टर्म बट एसटीटी वाज नॉट पेड ऑन परचेस, तो मित्तल का 112A में नहीं जाएगा. डाबर एसटीटी वाज पेड ऑन परचेस एंड सेल, तो डाबर का 112A में जा सकता है, बट दे आर आस्किंग लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन का अमाउंट. डाबर नहीं, सॉरी, HEG. STT पेड ऑन परचेस, सो दैट विल गो इन लॉन्ग. डाबर इज शॉर्ट टर्म. HEG पेड ऑन परचेस, सो दैट कैन गो इन 112A. डाबर इज शॉर्ट टर्म में STT नॉट रिक्वायर्ड ऑन परचेस, सो इररेलेवेंट. only paid on sale, that much is enough. So what are the selling prices? Mittal Lifestyle for 1 crore 50 lakh and deposited 90 lakh from the sale proceeds with an Indian public company on 30th June. इंडिविजुअल सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया नॉन रेजिडेंट मतलब एनआरआई फॉरेक्स एसेट का लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन्स. ये फॉरेक्स एसेट नहीं है, इट वोंट गो इन एनआरआई चैप्टर. ये शॉर्ट टर्म है. इवन इफ इट इज फॉरेक्स एसेट, एनआरआई इज ओनली लॉन्ग टर्म गेन. बट मित्तल फॉरेक्स एसेट लॉन्ग टर्म मतलब एनआरआई और जो कैपिटल गेन आएगा विच वी विल डू, हाउ वी विल डू, कन्वर्ट एवरीथिंग इन फॉरेन करेंसी, लास्ट में गेन कन्वर्ट इन इंडियन करेंसी. बट उस कैपिटल गेन में एग्जेम्पशन मिलता है ना. विद इन 6 months if you invest in another forex asset, shares of Indian public company, selling price is 150, you have invested 90 lakh, if entire net sale consideration is invested, entire capital gain is exempt. नहीं तो प्रोपोर्शनेट, तो मित्रों प्रोपोर्शनेट होएगा, लेकिन होएगा ना प्रोपोर्शनेट एग्जेम्पशन. 90 upon 150 का एग्जेम्पशन अंडर 115F. दिस इज 115F का डेटा. समझा क्या? शेयर्स ऑफ HEG लिमिटेड, वो भी लॉन्ग टर्म है, 15 लाख एंड ही इन्वेस्टेड 15 लाख इन शेयर्स ऑफ रिलायंस लिमिटेड. अभी देखो ये लॉन्ग टर्म है लेकिन ये फॉरेक्स एसेट नहीं है. इट इज लॉन्ग टर्म, तो लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन अमाउंट पूछेगा तो यू हैव टू डू. तो इट इज नॉट फॉरेक्स एसेट बिकॉज इट इज नॉट फॉरेक्स एसेट. पहली बात तो कन्वर्जन इनटू फॉरेन करेंसी विल नॉट हैपन. 15 लाख माइनस 10 लाख, ये 5 लाख आपका एलटीसीजी. दिस 5 लाख प्लस मित्तल का कैपिटल गेन इज योर आंसर टू फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ये 5 लाख आपका एलटीसीजी. एंड हियर इवन इफ यू इन्वेस्ट इट्स नॉट एलिजिबल बिकॉज इट इज नॉट फॉरेक्स एसेट. फॉरेक्स एसेट में यू गेट 115F. हियर यू परचेस्ड इन रुपीज, सो नॉट एलिजिबल. डाबर का सेल किया 60 लाख एंड इन्वेस्टेड 60 लाख. देखो इट इज अक्वायर्ड इन फॉरेन करेंसी, फॉरेक्स एसेट है. कैपिटल गेन कैसे कैलकुलेट होएगा? सेलिंग प्राइस विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू फॉरेन करेंसी एट एवरेज रेट ऑन ट्रांसफर डेट. कॉस्ट प्राइस विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू फॉरेन करेंसी एट एवरेज रेट ऑफ एक्विजिशन डेट एंड जो गेन आएगा कन्वर्ट इनटू इंडियन करेंसी एट बाय रेट ऑन ट्रांसफर डेट. जो थोड़ी देर पहले क्वेश्चन में बोला था. एंड दिस इन्वेस्टमेंट का बेनिफिट 115F का नॉट अवेलेबल क्योंकि ये शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन है. दिस शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन इज योर आंसर टू क्वेश्चन 2. नाउ द GDRs, बिकॉज उसका भी क्वेश्चन है. 50% of GDR were sold to Priya, non-resident for 18 lakh. मतलब 100 में से 50 GDR बेच दिया. And balance 50% were sold to Hitesh, a resident. To hell with it. The underlying asset is not Indian company securities that cannot attract tax in India. अगर Indian company के securities के exchange में acquire किया, then only capital gain will be attracted. समझा? That means GDR का कोई भी capital gain taxable नहीं होगा. And other income is given to you. अरे बोला था ना, what is last question is what is his other income. So interest on bonds is given, bank charges is given, interest on debenture is given, debenture का भी interest expense is given. So income expense और matches का 6 लाख रुपया match participation fee. The various rates are given for calculating your various जो भी forex asset है, that is Mittal and Dabur. So you have to compute the gain in the foreign currency. For selling price and cost price, we will take the average. But for final conversion back into Indian currency, we will take the buying rate. Selling price on transfer date, cost price on acquisition date, and इसके लिए अलग-अलग date का rates are given. Based on the above facts, choose the most appropriate answer. Assuming that Shivam has opted for chapter 12A, मतलब NRI लेगा तो ही 115F मिलेगा ना. तो ऑप्ट किया है, दे कुड हैव सेड नॉट ऑप्टेड, देन 115F का बेनिफिट वी वुड हैव नॉट गिवन. ऑप्ट किया है. एंड सेकेंडली अगर ऑप्ट किया ना तो डू यू रिमेंबर एनआरआई में नो डिडक्शन ऑफ एक्सपेंस, मतलब दिस, अरे वो अदर इनकम पूछा ना, तो डिविडेंड विल कम 11 लाख, 12 लाख, 13 लाख एंड दिस हो गया. आई थिंक फाइनल आंसर वो 19 लाख. मैंने आंसर कर भी दिया, लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑलरेडी आंसर्ड. समझा? चलिए, लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन ऑन सेल ऑफ शेयर्स. मित्तल एंड HEG विल कम बिकॉज दे आर लॉन्ग टर्म. मित्तल का फॉरेन करेंसी में, HEG का इंडियन करेंसी में. लेट्स सी. मित्तल सेलिंग प्राइस 1 crore 50 lakh, बट वी आर कन्वर्टिंग इनटू फॉरेन करेंसी. व्हाट इज द डेट ऑफ सेल? 20th January. ट्रांसफर विल बी, सेलिंग प्राइस विल बी ऑन द ट्रांसफर डेट. ट्रांसफर एक्सपेंस भी होता तो ट्रांसफर डेट, लेकिन cost of acquisition will be converted at purchase date का rate and capital gain also transfer date, क्योंकि capital gain transfer date पे आता है. Okay, तो what is the transfer date? इन दोनों का average 58 and 62 का average is 60. So 1 crore 50 lakh divide by 60, ये आपका selling price होगी. फिर cost of acquisition 60 lakh, वो 1st June 18 का average rate, 1st June 18 का average rate 30. So what was cost of Mittal? 60 lakh will be converted at the rate of average rate of 30. So ये मिलेगा, that's the capital gain amount. अब इस गेन अमाउंट को इंडियन करेंसी में कन्वर्ट करना है तो पहली बात तो ट्रांसफर डेट लेना पड़ता है, बिकॉज गेन अराइजेज ऑन ट्रांसफर डेट एंड एट द बाय रेट. गेन अमाउंट एट बाय रेट, बाकी सब कुछ एट एवरेज रेट, गेन अमाउंट एट बाय रेट. व्हाट इज द बाय रेट? दिस फुल फॉर्म इज टेलीग्राफिक ट्रांसफर बाय रेट एंड टेलीग्राफिक ट्रांसफर सेल रेट. बाय रेट 58, मतलब 50,000 इंटू 58, 29 लाख इज द कैपिटल गेन. लेकिन क्या ये 29 लाख फुल्ली टैक्सेबल होगा? नो मित्रों, she has opted for, Shivam has opted for this. तो in 29 lakh he will get exemption. Is entire net sale consideration invested? नहीं. कितने का खरीदा नया? 90 lakh. Will entire 29 lakh be exempt? No. Proportionate. 29 into 90 by 50 proportionate. तो इतना exempt and this much is going to be taxable. This is your 115F का exemption. So this is calculation of gain by converting into forex. This is your 115F का exemption. ये आपका गेन. और जहां तक HEG का सवाल है, अक्वायर्ड इन इंडियन करेंसी, इट्स नॉट अ फॉरेक्स एसेट. इफ इट्स नॉट अ फॉरेक्स एसेट, नो कन्वर्जन, डायरेक्ट 15 लाख जो सेलिंग प्राइस था एंड 10 लाख जो कॉस्ट प्राइस था, 5 लाख विल बी योर गेन. और ये 115F नहीं लगेगा क्योंकि फॉरेक्स एसेट नहीं है. सो 5 लाख 16 लाख 60,000 इज गोइंग टू बी योर लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन. 16 लाख 60,000. And what about short term capital gain? That is only Dabur, but it is forex asset, तो conversion करना पड़ेगा. What is the sell price of Dabur? 60 lakh. On which date? ये तो इसका ही average rate. What was the average rate? 60. So 60 lakh का 60 के average पे 1 lakh और Dabur का cost price 40 lakh. ये 22nd January का average rate, purchase date. So यहाँ का average 50. 48 and 52 का average. So 40 lakh at the average of 50. So that's 80,000. Gain amount 20,000. एंड रिकन्वर्ट किस रेट पे करोगे? ट्रांसफर डेट बाय रेट. ट्रांसफर का डेट, बाय का रेट, ट्रांसफर डेट इज दिस, बाय का रेट 58. 11 लाख 60,000, 11 लाख 60 इज योर कैपिटल गेन. अब देखो 1160 इज गिवन इन 2 ऑप्शंस. दीज 2 आर नॉट अवर ऑप्शन. 1160 2 ऑप्शन में दिए. STT was not paid on the purchases. तो नॉर्मल गधेड़ा शॉर्ट टर्म में एसटीटी ऑन परचेस नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, एसटीटी ओनली ऑन सेल एंड देयरफॉर इट विल बी टैक्सेबल एट 111A. Which of the following is correct in respect of taxability of transfer of GDR? As we decided that India का कोई कनेक्शन ही नहीं है and therefore capital gain arising, okay, the capital gain which is arising to the assessee. What is the rule for the GDR? Our answer in this case is going to be no capital gains will arise because India का कनेक्शन नहीं है. बट इंस्टीट्यूट ने जो यहां पे सजेस्टेड आंसर दिया है, एज पर सजेस्टेड आंसर ऑफ ICAI, दे आर सेइंग दैट जितना 100 का 100 GDR है ना, our answer is no capital gain. इंस्टीट्यूट का सजेस्टेड आंसर I am discussing an assumption taken by ICAI. 100 GDR है, इंस्टीट्यूट इज सेइंग दैट 100 का 100 GDR का कैपिटल गेन विल बी टैक्सेबल एट 10%, एप्लीकेबल सरचार्ज एंड HEC. इसमें कोई कन्वर्जन का और वो सब इसमें ADR GDR में ये नहीं अप्लाई करता है. एंड नॉन रेसिडेंट विदाउट इंडेक्सेशन. व्हाई? व्हाट डिड आई टेल यू? He left India in 2001. Look at the case study. I am talking about the data given here. I am not saying anything अपने मर्जी से. I am talking about the case study. 2001. और ये परचेस कभी किया? 2010 के अंदर. That means, and he came to India when 22 में, मतलब 1 से 22 के बीच में he was not in India. This period he must have acquired ADR, GDR, जो भी उसने acquire किया होगा outside India. So there is no Indian connection. And that is why we have to take it that there should not be any capital. But institute says everything is taxable, which is only possible if the institute is taking this assumption that even if the investment was made in 2010 when he was not in India, this listed company that we are referring to is an Indian company. This listed company, he has made the following investments बोला, he has made the following investments in India नहीं बोला है. Are you understanding? They are assuming that this is an Indian investment, and if they are assuming that this is an Indian investment, then they are saying that Indian investment मतलब ADR, GDR, किसी को भी बेच, किधर भी बेच, it will be taxable because the underlying asset is located in India. On this assumption, institute is saying it is taxable. But to exam के अंदर you have to follow what they are doing, because you don't get your opportunity to give any reasoning. If it was a subjective thing, I would have said both. Assume Indian company, assume not Indian company. In MCQ, it is OMR based checking. So you have only one option. You have to choose whatever is the answer, though it is based on an assumption, as I told you. In my opinion, it should not be the case. In my opinion, it should not be the case. Okay. But then they have assumed that this listed company indicates Indian company. They said everything is going to be taxable. And what is the total income excluding capital gain, that we already discussed. No deduction of expense. 19 lakh, I think याद भी amount मेरे को. 11 lakh का dividend. This 12, 13 and 6, 19 lakh rupees, and mind you, deduction of expenses not going to be allowed. So 19 lakh will be your other taxable income. Well then, that's your chapter called capital gains. Because it had these complicated case studies involved, I decided that today I will do only capital gain and IFOS. Even our IFOS has got lots and lots of case study based questions. I have incorporated all of them. So we have a good number of questions. We have about 60-70 questions. I don't remember the exact number. Let's see. Again, we will have easy, difficult both, but be patient in easy so that you can accept the difficult ones. In case of member of parliament, daily allowance is exempt, but constituency allowance is taxable. Only sitting fees is taxable. Daily allowance and constituency allowance both are fully exempt. Under 222E, deemed dividend. How much percentage shareholding should the shareholder have in the closely owned company? Beneficial shareholder holding 10% or more. More than 10 nahi hai, equal to is also covered. So it is 10% or more. What among the following is treated as deemed dividend under 222B? Dekho, 222C and E are important. C is distribution at the time of liquidation, and E is loan given to beneficial shareholder. What is deemed dividend under 222B? B. When there is an equity shareholder and you are giving him free debentures, or where there is a preference shareholder and you are giving him free shares or debentures. So bonus shares to preference shareholder or bonus debenture to equity or preference shareholder. So distribution of debenture, deposit certificate to equity and preference, and bonus shares to preference shareholders. Deemed dividend under 222 A, B, C, D will be taken. We will be taking accumulated profits. For A, B, C, D, we take free reserves, including the we take free reserves including the bonus. Whether the bonus is, whether free reserves are in capital or not, matlab whether the free reserves is capitalized or not capitalized, we will have to take both. Free reserve lying in the reserves, we will take. Free reserves in bonus. What is bonus? Capitalization of profit. We will take everything. But for 222E, we will take excluding the bonus, only not capitalized. A limited in a company in which public is not substantially interested. B is a shareholder holding 15% equity shares. मतलब beneficial हो गया, private company हो गया. Accumulated profit is 10 lakh and company is given 1250 loan to Banta. Banta is B only, Mr. B. So what is the dividend taxable? Loan, but restricted to the amount of free reserves. Distribution or loan advance to the extent of accumulated profit held by closely held company is taxable under 222E. Against the dividend and mutual fund profit, dash expense will be allowed and shall be restricted to dash percentage. Only interest is allowed, other expenses are not allowed and shall be restricted to 20% of the income. Kunal non-resident received dividend from X Limited amounting to 7 lakh, Y Limited 8 lakh, Z Limited 3 lakh. If all are domestic companies, how much dividend is taxable in India? Everything is taxable if they are domestic. 7 and 3, 10 and 8, 18 lakh, everything is going to be taxable. Gift received will be exempt if received from relative, marriage, inheritance, all of the above. Gaurav entered into agreement for sale of property on 30th March 14 and received advance money forfeited on 30th March 14, but the sale could not materialize and Gaurav forfeited the advance money. What will be the, how will the same be taxable? How will the same be taxable? Will it be taxable in IFOS? IFOS only if it is 14-15, and when is this forfeiture? 13-14. That means this has to be reduced from your cost of acquisition. Sharmila Private Limited is a company in which public not substantially interested, मतलब private. It advanced a loan of 13 lakh to shareholder बेशरम who holds 12%. मतलब शर्मिला में shareholder is बेशरम. वाह वाह मोदी जी वाह. Whether बेशरम is liable? Yes, because private company beneficial shareholder 222E will be applicable. 5627B shares are issued at premium by private company in which public is not interested. Tax is payable on what amount? Issue price should be more than face value and FMV, but tax is paid only on issue price minus fair market value. 56 to 10 gift is applicable to all persons. See, 7B premium wala is applicable only to private company. Mrs. Sunita Surana, she gave me birth, has acquired jewelry worth 6 lakh on 5th June 21 and FMV is 675. That means, can I say the gift component is more than 50,000, therefore fully taxable. In respect of gift received by an individual, relative will include who? Who is relative? Father's sister's son, cousin brother, no. Grandfather's, no. Self brother sister, spouse brother sister, parents brother sister allowed. Mother nahi hai, mother's brother's son. Mother's brother is allowed, son is not allowed. Wife's sister is covered, and in the last point, spouse is covered. Wife's sister, husband will cover relative. Ritesh received cash gift of 75,000 from his friend Rachit on the occasion of marriage. How much amount will be taxable? Occasion of marriage, that one occasion where even income tax feels sorry for you. So 0. Bharat has acquired building of 40 lakh on 20th June 21 and stamp duty value is 4175. What will be the income chargeable? Can I say he has paid less? You will say 175 taxable, but mitro actual consideration ka 10%. 20th July hai. Means that 20% का safe harbor will not apply. 10, but 10% के भी limit के अंदर है because it is within 10%. So what will Bharat pay tax on? Nothing. CA Siddharth Surana received cash gift of 3 lakh from his wife's sister on occasion of his birthday. कौन देता है बे? 3 lakh that also. Amount taxable in the hands of CA Siddharth Surana will be wife's sister, even if it is not marriage, but if it is falling in the definition of relative exempt. Madhav employed at ABC Limited, compensation received by Madhav from Gopal in connection with termination of employment. Such receipt will be taxable. See, if your employer gives you compensation, it will be salary. But if a third party gives you compensation for loss of job, it will be taxable under income from other sources. And business ka compensation is taxable in PGBP, employer ka in salary and third party IFOs. ABC Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of PQR, receives shares from PQR without consideration. FMB is 5 lakh. See, subsidiary does not fall in the definition of that. So, fully taxable. P, a dealer in jewelry, received jewelry worth 16 lakh from Q on 9th August 21. FMV is 1850. How much is taxable? Is this capital asset? No, it is stock in trade. Not taxable. Asset has to be capital asset. Mr. J never received land without consideration from his best friend, Mr. Umang Kapadia. Stamp duty value on receipt of land is 60 lakh. Discuss the taxability. He has received it free of cost. So, no margin, nothing. Full and more than 50. Yeah, mitro. More than 50,000 rupees. Equal to 50,000 not taxable. Interest on bonds issued by state pooled finance entity. There is a section 1015. Some of the interests are exempt in that. This is one of the interest fully exempt. Bank of India made an investment in non-SLR security and received interest on such security. This is also covered in fully exempt. Under 1015, when an individual get interest in post office account, bank saving account mein nahi, post office saving account mein, then there is an exemption. For normal accounts, it is going to be exemption of 3,500, joint account में 7,000. उसके बाद जो taxable बनता है उसके अंदर you can also take that 80 TTA का benefit. But bank saving account में directly you have to take TTA. Constituency allowance by the PM is PM के लिए तो constituency allowance exempt. Constituency allowance, daily allowance सबके लिए exempt. Bonus stripping is applicable when a person acquires unit within 3 months prior to record date and sell units within a period of bonus stripping 9 months after the record. Government employee Manoj received interest of 8,500 from the money deposited by him in the scheme of retirement which is notified. So notified scheme से अगर interest मिला तो Mr. Manoj fully exempt. Income in the nature of family pension is exempt to the extent of, what is the exemption in family pension? 1/3 of the amount or 15,000, whichever is lower. Ms. Richa is resident individual who has won 2,10,000 from lottery. What will be the tax payable? बोलो below basic exemption limit गधेड़ा 30%, that's 63. 63 choose करके मत आ जाना 30A. Add 4% cess on 63, you will get 65 520 as your answer. Widow of a major who died in Pulwama attack received a family pension of 18,000 per month, that is 2,16,000. What is the exemption? Will you get the exemption of 1/3, that is 72 or 15 or aisa? Nahi, fully exempt. Any person who died during official duty or recipient of bravery award, then fully exempt. Mrs. Agarwal received interest on compensation of rupees 5 lakh. She incurred expenditure of legal fees 50. What will be the income taxable? Expense gaya bhad mein 5 lakh, but not full, 50% deduction. So 5 lakh is wrong. 450 is also wrong. 250 is the only correct option. Mr. Bhairav earned rent from letting on hire his machinery of 56,000 in 21-22. He paid 10,000 of repairs, 5,000 of insurance, 8,500 depreciation. What is the income taxable? Taxable 1929, it is 21-22 in the hands of Mr. Bhairav. बस तो ये सब expense का deduction ले लेना. You just have to take 56 minus 10, 46 minus 5, 41 minus 8,400, 33 minus 400, 32,600 is going to be taxable. Actual expense allowed in IFSC just like PGBP. Deduction under 57 was allowed in AY 21-22 for expenditure incurred. Expenditure made in AY 21-22 was reimbursed. Then what will be the treatment? If you recover, you have to pay tax. If the deduction was in IFOS, then taxable income will also come in IFOS. If the deduction in PGBP, then it will go in PGBP. Miss Shefali received car without consideration from her friend Kamla. FMV is 35 lakh ka car, but Gadeda car is not covered in the asset, so not taxable. Mr. Uber borrowed money from his sister and the same money is lent to his friend Ola. Uber received interest of 50,000. Of course, Ola must have paid rent. Rent बोल रहा है, interest, sorry, my bad, interest. And paid 65,000 to his sister. मतलब sister से borrow करके I'll pay her interest and Ola को lend करके interest income 50, interest expense 65. Income 50, expense 65. 35,000 was considered as unreasonable. मतलब 65 का disallowance होगा. You will get deduction only of 30. Net में 35 disallowed. So what will be the income taxable? Then you will have to pay tax only on, if there is disallowance, then only 20 will be taxable. 50 minus 30 का deduction will be allowed, 65 का नहीं, तो 20 will be taxable. Vivek Surana HUF has business income of 5 lakh for this year. Vivek is the karta of HUF and employed in a private company. Salary income for the same period is 6 lakh 10,000. One of the member of HUF gave cash gift of 1 lakh to the HUF. What is the total income of HUF? See, this 5 lakh is taxable. This 610 is taxable for Mr. Vivek, so HUF has got nothing to do. And cash gift of 1 lakh received from member, from relative, gift received from relative also not taxable. So the only taxable income ultimately remaining is 5 lakh. X receives the following gifts during the previous year 21-22. Occasion of marriage, not taxable. 7 lakh from grandmother, relative, not taxable. Commercial freight from elder brother of his father-in-law. Father-in-law is relative, but his brother and sister of parents covered. Brother and sister of in-laws not covered. Not covered. So, 25 lakh is going to be the taxable amount. Wrist watch from friend. Watch is not covered. He gets gift of plot of land in Pune from partnership firm. It has two partners, father of Mr. X and his wife. If father gives, relative. Wife gives, relative. But firm is giving. So, this will be taxable. 25 and 19 together will become taxable, and thus total taxable will be 44. So, one mistake also you make, one of the wrong answers you will be getting. I hope you are understanding. One amount also goes here, there, up, down, then you can go on make a mistake. P, a salaried employee. On 1st June 21, he gets gift of house property situated in Mumbai. Stamp duty value is 80 lakh. Gift hai, matlab obviously fully taxable. From Q. On 2nd August 21, P gets a gift of house property in Pune of 50, mitro, not exceeding 50. Look at the depth. From R. On 3rd September 21, he also gets gift of house property in Delhi, where stamp duty value is 1 lakh. So, per property 50 का limit, 80 वाला cross हो रहा है, 1 वाला cross हो रहा है, 81 lakh will be taxable income. So, 8150 का options are wrong. And all the three people who have given the asset have gifted. For them, there cannot be a taxable transfer because gift is not a taxable transfer. So, please be careful. 81 lakh chargeable for P, income from other sources, and capital gains shall arise. Then no. Capital gains shall not arise because it does not constitute transfer. समझा क्या? Mr. Anjan, a property dealer, sold a flat in Mumbai on 1 July 21. 1 July 21 मतलब 10% का margin you have to check. 20 वाला not applicable. Stamp duty value is 2 crore for 1.6 crore. 1.6 का 10% is 16. Is the difference more than that? That means this has to be taken as selling price. Khatam. 20 not allowed. To his friend Mr. Ashwin, a college lecturer, Anjan had purchased the flat 1 year back for 1.5 crore and stamp duty value also was 1.5 crore. What are the tax implications? First, let's talk about Anjan. We'll take selling price 2 crore because the difference is more than 10%. Cost 1.5. Taxable income 50 lakh. Mitro. PGBP. And his friend Ashwin, he is getting the asset for 160 where the market value is 2 crore. So 40 lakh is the gain, which is again more than 10%, more than 50,000. That means Anjan ke liye there would be 50 lakh PGBP and his friend ke liye, Ashwin ke liye 40 lakh as income from other sources. They have given confusing options, but you can read, you'll get the answer. Compute the income taxable under income from other sources by Mr. X. Cash gift received from his brother on the occasion of marriage anniversary. Even if it is anniversary, don't get confused. Brother, not taxable. Winning from lottery, net. Matlab here they are testing whether you know the rate of TDS. This is 70%. So therefore winning kitna hua? 1 lakh. This will be in IFSC. And interest on compensation on compulsory acquisition. Mila 51. But you pay tax only on half of it. 50% deduction milta hai. So the only correct option is 125, 500, anything else is wrong. Unni Krishnan, defense personnel, died in war, wife received family pension, calculate the amount chargeable to tax. Died during official duties, no tax. In the above question, if he did not die in war, then calculate the amount. Then what will happen? 1/3 or 15, whichever is lower. I am not sure whether I have calculated 1/3 or 15, which are no problem. 75,000, 7,500. Next wala question. 7,500 into 12, 90,000 is received. Iska 1/3 is 30, 30 or 15, whichever is lower. 30 or 15, whichever is lower. 15 ka deduction, 75 will be taxable. If died, then fully exempt. Family pension received by widow of member of armed forces where death was in course of operational duties, then what will be the tax treatment? In such a case, it will be fully exempt. Deduction of family pension is 1/3 or 15,000 out of the two, whichever is lower. An assessee earned income of interest on securities of 65,000 and there is a reasonable sum of 35,000 paid to commission of banker. Dividend and mutual fund profit में 20 का limit. Interest on securities में reasonable sum का चलेगा. If it is reasonable, मतलब AO has no objection, then in that case it is going to be fully allowed. Assessee received interest on compensation 50,000 as per court decree. Out of that 35 relates to preceding financial years. Irrespective receipt basis, but 50 fully taxable नहीं होगा. You get 50% deduction against interest on compensation. Deduction available in interest of compensation 50% मालूम. Meet entered into an agreement with Mukesh for sale of building 20 lakh in June 21. Meet received advance of 2 lakh. Subsequently, the agreement was cancelled and he forfeited the money. June 21 में forfeit money तो क्या होएगा? IFOS or less from COF. From 14-15 onwards, this income will be taxable under income from other sources. Agriculture income received from outside India will be taxable. First of all, exemption नहीं होगा and वो किस में होएगा? Income from other sources. Which of the following income are chargeable under IFOS? Dividend, lottery, OMRH, all of them. On 5/4/21, GH Private Limited issued 20,000 shares to X at 40 per share. Face value is 10, मतलब private company issuing at premium. And fair market value is 30, मतलब more than premium and more than face value and more than fair market value. Means we have our issue price 40 is greater than 30, which is the FMV also, and greater than 10. Premium भी है and वो भी, मतलब पूरा 30 taxable नहीं होगा. Only this difference, the difference between issue price and fair market value. 10 into number of shares. X was not in India from the date of issue of shares till 2nd September. Oh, but he came to India on 3rd September. अच्छा, याद रहे 56(2)(7)(b is applicable only if the issue is to resident. But from 5th April to 2nd September he was not in India. 3rd September से अगर आप मार्च काउंट करोगे it is more than 183. मतलब देखो, private company, resident, more than face value, more than fair market value. Final tax implication will arise 10 rupees, this difference into 20,000. No tax implication? Wrong. Amount would be chargeable irrespective of residential status. No, chargeable because he is resident. Yes, amount chargeable will be 2 lakh rupees. Only 20,000 into 10. Full premium 30 rupees tax nahi hoga. Only the excess over FMV. This will be taxable income. Mr. Gagan, age 67 years and resident, is a retired person earning monthly pension of 12,000 from employer. He purchased piece of land in Delhi in December 10 and sold the same in April 21. Taxable LTCG is 480. Apart from pension income and sale of land, he does not have any income. What is going to be his tax liability? Total income, you have to calculate. Tax, you have to calculate. Only salary and LTCG, how will you calculate? LTCG 480, salary 144, but don't forget standard deduction of 50. So 94, 574. In that long term capital gain special rate, 94 normal rate. If you apply 20 on this, you are gone. Because you have to take unexhausted basic exemption limit, which is not 250. 3 lakh, because Mr. Gagan is 67 years resident. So 2 lakh 6 will be unexhausted basic exemption limit, which we will utilize against our other income, and this remaining 274 at 20% LTCG plus cess 56,992, round off में 56,990. Any step you miss, step क्या है? Standard deduction you can miss, unexhausted basic exemption you can miss, or you can do it 250 also. Segregate नहीं किया, split नहीं किया, तो you are wrong. Rate of tax you can go wrong. Every step you can go wrong. Now case study based question 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. Mr. Hari, a property dealer, sold a building in course of his business to friend Rajesh, who is dealer in automobile parts, for 100 lakhs on 1/1/22 when the stamp duty value was 120 lakh. Means there is a difference. The agreement was entered on 1st September 21 when the stamp duty value was 5 lakh. Matlab agreement date stamp duty value. But if there was advance received in allowable mode, Mr. Hari received down payment 15 lakh by way of NEFT from Rajesh on the date of agreement. Matlab one thing is for sure, allowed mode ka advance, matlab we can take agreement date stamp duty value. So this time it will not be this value, it will be this value. And mitro, actual consideration is 100, 100, 105, 100, 105. If the difference is within 10%, is it within 10%? Yes, that means this only. Hari ke liye selling price kya hoega? What will be selling price of Hari? We will directly take 100 lakhs. Understood? And will there be any IFOS for Rajesh? Nahi na. Purchase price 100, value 105, difference is within 10%. So Rajesh ke liye no IFOS. Hari ka selling price will be 100, and of course Hari had purchased building for 50 lakh on 12 July 18. So 100 minus 50, 50 lakh rupees. He is a property dealer, so it is going to be PGBP. 100 ka selling price. Why 100 ka selling price? This value not to be taken, agreement allowed, and this is within 10%, so this allowed. And this is the cost of acquisition in PGBP. So PGBP 50 lakh, and Rajesh ke liye no IFOS because within 10%. Okay. And now second story is, matlab they are actually giving two separate stories and asking two questions on each. Ravi, a retail trader, sold retail trader hai, matlab iske liye it will be capital gains. Sold residential house to Mr. Valish, a wholesale trader, for 50 lakhs on 1/2/22 when stamp duty value was 70 lakhs. Agreement was entered into on 1st August 21 when stamp duty value was 55. So if eligible, I will take this. Ravi had received down payment of 5 lakh by cross check. Cross check matlab agreement date stamp duty value not allowed. You have to take this. And now is the difference more than 10%? 50 lakh ka 10% is 5, difference is more than 5. Matlab Ravi ke liye we have to take capital gain. Ek to he is a retail trader. He was property dealer, Hari. But Ravi ka selling price we will take 70. And for Valish, there is going to be taxability. Valish ke liye there is going to be IFOS of 20 because the difference is more than 10%. Valish ka jo cross check ka advance hai, therefore we are not taking agreement date stamp duty value. Ravi had purchased the building for 32 lakhs. So 32, but this is going to give us capital gains. Capital gains. Okay. So based on the above facts, choose. What is the amount chargeable for Hari? Hari is PGBP and 50 lakh. Why 50 lakh? Because 100 minus 50. 50 lakh will be taxable as business income. Is there any amount chargeable to tax in respect of Rajesh? And if so, which head of income? Rajesh ka we will take 100 only, and he has paid 100 only. There will be no amount which will be taxable in the hands of राजेश. What is the amount taxable for Ravi? Ravi के लिए it will be capital gain because he is retailer. Here agreement date not allowed 70 and 32 was the cost. So 30 lakh will be taxable as short term capital gain. Just one correction has to be made. This transaction took place in 22 and thus you will have to this is an old date. If you observe that way, then it will amount to long term capital gain. So just change it to 17th August 2020 कर दो, 20 कर दो, तो less than 24 months हो जाएगा and therefore it will be taxable as short term. Long term is not given in options. इसके लिए I am making you change the purchase date. So short term capital gain is going to be taxable 38. Is there any amount taxable for Mr. Valish? Yes, agreement date not available. So 70 minus 50, 20 lakh will be taxable as income from other sources. Is TDS deductible by Rajesh and Valish? How much is Rajesh paying? 1 crore. 50 lakh or more? Then there will be 1% TDS 194 IA. How much is Valish paying? 50 lakh. And 194 IA में equal to is also covered. जाके देखो TDS का lecture. Go, what was our focus when we did our chapter called TDS? That means, can I say, in case of Rajesh and Valish, both of them are going to be deducting tax at source. Vishal engaged in sale and purchase of properties, sold a flat in sale and purchase of properties, मतलब 43 CA. 1st July 21. Circle rate was 2 crore, but he sold for 1.75. मतलब stamp duty value 2 crore, 1.75 to his friend Prabhas, a software engineer. Vishal had purchased the flat 1 year back for 1.5 crore and that day the rate was 1.5. What are the tax implications? First of all, 1st July. मतलब 10% you have to check. Agreement date not given. क्या difference is more than 10%? Yes. तो विशाल के लिए you will have to take selling price 2 crore, cross price 1.5 crore and therefore 50 lakh. विशाल के लिए he is a property dealer. Similar question like previous one. PGBP. And for Prabhas, he is getting something but 2 crore for 1.75 and difference is more than 10%. So that difference 25 lakh will be IFS. 50 lakh as capital gain, wrong. 50 lakh as business income and nothing for Prabhas, wrong. 50 lakh as business income for Vishal and 25 lakh as IFS for Prabhas. Short term capital gain again, wrong. 62, 64, again a case study. Case study है बड़ा, question देख ले क्या पहले. Which of the following statement is true with respect to dividend income? मतलब dividend का tax rate क्या लगेगा, 15% or 25%? Okay. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the dividend received and the dividend distributed? मतलब there is a company dividend distributed also. What is the amount of dividend income taxable for Anita, a shareholder? Total income of Anita and dividend of Ujjwal. ठीक है, 65 is independent question. So Anita का dividend income, Anita का total income, Ujjwal का total income and company का dividend का tax treatment. Okay. That will give us a little brief idea about what we have to focus. Pawan Limited, an Indian company engaged in growing and manufacturing tea, receives the following dividend income during 21-22. It is liable to pay tax at 25% since its turnover for 1920 does not exceed 400 crore, which also means it's an old regime. 25% is the rate. For 21-22, the company had paid interest on loan borrowed for making investment in the following companies. Breakup is given. XYZ Incorporation, foreign company where we hold 25%. When you hold 25%, the dividend will be taxable at normal rate and normal is 25 for this company. Interest expense allowed. Is it within 20%? Yes, so no problem. PQR, foreign company, 30%. Mitro, therefore 115 BBD, 26 or more 115 BBD. Therefore special rate. Iska tax rate 25%. Expense will be allowed. Iska expense not allowed because tax rate will be 15%. Special rate. Special rate, no deduction of expense, 15%. And expense allowed because it is within 20%. Indian company 51%. So normal rate of tax, normal rate is 25% will be applicable and expenses within 20% range. So allowed. So 8,160 both allowed. And Indian company 10%. So normal rate of tax is 25. मतलब खाली PQR INC का 15% special rate will apply. Everything else will be 25% of course plus surcharge and HEC. And this expense will not be allowed because it is special rate. This is also within 20%. This is within 20. That means 8, 160 and 8. 176 cut expense will be allowed. 176 ka expense will be allowed. 9,000 ka expense will not be allowed. And these three will be taxable at normal rate. This one will be special rate. That's the dividend treatment of the company. पूछा है ना हमको इसलिए. Ujjwal, a shareholder holding 10% equity shares of the company, borrowed 2 lakh from the company on 31st August. Okay. Ujjwal had earlier taken loan from an NBFC for investing in equity shares of Pawan Limited on 31st March 22. He paid interest of 21,000 for this. मतलब Ujjwal has invested in this company का shares with borrowed money. उसका interest expenses 21,000. Till now he is only taking a loan from the company. A loan. Private company होगा ना, then this loan will be taxable to the extent of free reserves. But till now we don't have data. They have given Pawan Limited. We don't know whether closely or widely held. So as of now, deemed dividend का concept we will not apply because we don't know public or private. Then we can take some assumption if question is silent. सर MCQ में भी assumption. अभी क्या करेगा, कोई option नहीं. अगर dividend income होगा तो 21,000 is interest and dividend के सामने interest allowed limit of 20%. Okay. Company declared interim dividend of 220 at its general meeting on 10th March 21. Suno. And distributed on 31st March 21. This is given to confuse you. आपको लगेगा sir that means Ujjwal will get 22,000, 10% shareholding. This is 2021 का income. This is last year का income. Confuse करने के लिए purposely they have given you last year का income. Company declared dividend of 320 at its AGM in this year, which it distributed. ये 21-22 का. तो इस 320 में से can I say Ujjwal will get 32,000? और सामने इंटरेस्ट का एक्सपेंस 21 इज गिवन, बट ऑफ कोर्स वी नो 20% का लिमिट विल बी एप्लीकेबल. अब तक ये लोन नहीं ले रहे हैं बिकॉज वी डोंट नो प्राइवेट कंपनी और पब्लिक कंपनी. अक्यूमुलेटेड प्रॉफिट्स वर 20 lakhs. ठीक है, मतलब जिस दिन इसने लोन लिया उस दिन अक्यूमुलेटेड प्रॉफिट इज गिवन. आई गेट अ फीलिंग दैट वी विल हैव टू अज्यूम इट इज अ प्राइवेट कंपनी. पवन लिमिटेड इज नॉट अ कंपनी. ओहो, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व. प्राइवेट कंपनी है, 10% शेयर होल्डर, टेकिंग लोन, डीम डिविडेंड 2 lakh अप टू द फ्री रिजर्व्स. तो 2 lakh deemed dividend and 32,000 is the actual dividend. This dividend we will not take because this is last year. So current year का 32 and deemed dividend 2 lakh. That total dividend of Ujjwal 232 and interest का expense allowed within 20% limit है कि नहीं वो देखेगा. Following are the मतलब Ujjwal का वो जो question पूछा that is done. Following are major shareholders of Pawan Limited. Anita 50%, Mehak 10, Ujjwal 10. Major दिया है, minority not given. अच्छा अनीता का भी तो डिविडेंड पूछा ना हमको, तो अनीता का 50. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लास्ट ईयर का वी विल नॉट टेक, बट करंट ईयर के 320 में से अनीता विल आल्सो गेट 160. नो भाई, अनीता को भी 160 मिलेगा. अनीता का डिविडेंड इनकम एंड टोटल इनकम बोथ आर asked. These are our two questions out of the total. Anita had also taken a loan of 10 lakh few years ago from Mr. J at 8% simple interest to acquire. मतलब अनीता का भी there is interest. So again this dividend income we will take interest allowed but within limit of 20%. Anita has also taken a housing loan which was sanctioned by SBI on 1/5/20. The house was purchased for 60 lakh but stamp duty value was 45 lakh. She does not own any other house property. During the year she has paid interest of 2,50,000 and 2 lakh towards repayment of principal. The house was self-occupied. Other income पूछा अनीता का. Do you remember? Total income of Anita. You remember income of Anita is asked? So house property के लिए we will take SOP loss. यहाँ से interest का 2 lakh will go. Then we will take all her other incomes which will include the taxable dividend if at all. Then in chapter 6A, listen, loan taken from 1920 onwards. First house for individual, if the stamp duty value is up to 45 lakh, so SOP will give us only 2 lakh, the remaining 50,000 80EEA and principal का 80C का 2 lakh मत दे देना, but 150 तो you have to give. 2 lakh नहीं but 150. मतलब we have house property का interest, we have 80EEA का interest, we have 80C का deduction. All this will be relevant. Correct or no? Anita is running furniture business whose turnover is 90 lakh. All receipts are through banking channels. She has opted for presumptive taxation to maximize tax saving. Banking channel मतलब 90 lakh के ऊपर 6% अप्लाई करेंगे. PGBP bro, total income is asked. Everything is to be done. So house property का negative 2 lakh because SOP. PGBP is there. Dividend is there. Chapter 6 के अंदर 80EEA and 80C is there. अच्छा IFOS में fixed deposit interest भी दे दिया. And apart from that no. बताओ इतना तो हो गया, और क्या income? Now answer the question. Which of the following statement is true in respect of dividend received by Pawan Limited? Ignore deduction of 80M. 80M का deduction. 80M क्या होता है? dividend received or dividend paid, whichever is lower. So for tax rate you ignore that. मतलब what rate of tax you will apply? XYZ, INC and PQR is taxable at 15%. I think only one was taxable at 15. Only PQR will be taxable at 15. So wrong. Dividend from PQR is taxable at 15. बराबर. XYZ, ABC and XYZ exempt. No. They are also taxable at normal rate 25% and deduction of expense because it is within 20%. PQR is taxable at 15%. Other companies at 25 and interest expense of 176 will be allowed because it is within the range. PQR 15, other companies 25, interest of 185, nahi, interest only of that other company, special rate wala, not allowed. Which of the following statement is correct regarding dividend received and dividend distributed? Now ATM you have to consider, matlab rate of tax ke liye they said ignore ATM, but dividend received and dividend paid. What is the dividend received? It's a big amount, 9 lakh, 10 lakh, 1160 and some 12 lakh 10,000, out of which we have distributed 320. So dividend received or distributed, whichever is lower will become our ATM deduction. Dividend declared and distributed by Pawan Limited would not be subjected to DDT. Would be subjected to DDT, would be subjected. Wrong, DDT is abolished. Wrong. Pawan Limited should pay DDT. Wrong. Dividend declared and distributed would be taxable in the hands of shareholder. And Pawan Limited would deduct at tax at source. ठीक है? Pawan would be allowed as deduction from its gross total income ATM, distributed or paid, whichever is lower. Dividend declared and distributed would be taxable for shareholder. Dividend received by it from Indian companies would be allowable. No, foreign company, in fact business trust, कहीं से भी dividend मिलेगा, it will be allowable. Okay. What is the amount of dividend taxable for Anita? Anita को dividend कितना मिलेगा? 320 का 50% 160, but she also has expense. So what will be her? देखो PQR का 15% no expense, other का 25% and interest within 20%. अनीता का they are asking now. 320 का 50%, interest 10 lakh का 8% करोगे तो 80 मिलेगा, but maximum 32. तो अनीता का taxable interest will be only 1,28,000, 1,28,000, which is given to us in option D. Total income of Anita assuming that she does not opt for. हाँ तो does not opt ही होएगा ना bro, क्योंकि ऑप्ट किया तो एसओपी इंटरेस्ट नॉट अलाउड, चैप्टर 6 है नॉट अलाउड, डज नॉट ऑप्ट, तो एक एक हेड लेना पड़ेगा. फर्स्ट वी हैव एसओपी नेगेटिव 2 लाख, देन पीजीबीपी में 90 लाख का 6% क्योंकि बैंकिंग चैनल्स, कैपिटल गेन इज नॉट देयर, आईएफओएस में ये डिविडेंड एंड देन इंटरेस्ट ऑन एफडी, दैट्स टोटल. जीटीआई, इस जीटीआई में से 80 ईईए बिकॉज शी इज फुलफिलिंग ऑल द कंडीशंस, 2 लाख टेकन, बैलेंस 52 लाख एंड दिस इज विद इन द लिमिट ऑफ 150 ऑफ 80 ईईए. And 80C principal के लिए 2 lakh है but restricted to 1 lakh. You can make any small mistake and go wrong. The only correct answer for total income is 380. Every other discussion done and solution is right in front of you. Okay. And last, what is the dividend income for Ujjwal? देखो Ujjwal का एक तो loan will be taken because it is 222E and within the accumulated profits है, तो वो loan वाला amount 2 lakh and plus I think he got 10% ये भी ना, ये भी 2 lakh and 32,000, 2 lakh 32,000, 232 and he has paid interest of 21,000. ये 232 का 20% के लिमिट में है. 2 lakh 11,000 and 2 lakh 11,000 will be taxable income of Ujjwal. 2 lakh 11,000. That's your case study. And last question is independent. Jaideep, a resident age 32 years and brother Pradeep, a non-resident age 36 years, incurred interest expenditure of 1.8 and 1 lakh. ये expense है on loan taken for investing in shares of Beta Limited, an Indian company. Beta Limited declared dividend and distributed during 21-22. Dividend of Jaideep was 8 lakh and Pradeep was 6 lakh. So Jaideep ka dividend, Jaideep is resident 8 lakh and Pradeep is non-resident 6 lakh. And expense also given, dono ka 180 and 1 lakh, which was duly received after TDS. What is the gross tax liability? Gross matlab before taking credit of TDS of Jaideep and Pradeep on such, assuming that this is the only source of income and they wish to make maximum tax saving. Maximum tax saving matlab agar new regime is better, we will take it. But mitro, do you understand Pradeep NR? NR matlab special rate 115 है. Special rate matlab no deduction. 6 lakh का 20% करके add cess 124,800 मतलब ये दोनों तो पहले ही wrong हो जाते. And then for Jaideep we will take 8 lakh का income है ना, इस 8 lakh में से will give deduction of expense 180 180 नहीं मिलेगा, इंटरेस्ट अलाउड बट मैक्सिमम 20%, so only 160 and we will calculate tax at applicable rates. So Jaideep resident, Pradeep non-resident. 6 lakh no deduction of expense, so 20% plus 4%, 124,800. 8 lakh you will get in expense of interest but maximum 20%, 640 at new slabs क्योंकि maximum tax savings बोला. So up to 250 then up to 5 lakh, then remaining 140 का 10% and you add 4%, so you will get 27,560 and 124,800 respectively. That's your income from other sources. Because of capital gain and because of the big case studies that we had, it took some time, and thus I decided that today I will do only these two chapters. That marks completion of capital gain and IFOS, and this also means that last episode clubbing set of deductions will be our last and final episode. So single digit के episode में 1800 MCQs का target is achieved. Credit goes to both of us. Thank you for your cooperation for the day. We will meet tomorrow for the last episode. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Bye bye.